Welcome to the 704 Charlotte Bound Show, man, in conjunction with Twandon versus everybody. How's everybody doing today, man? Are you guys ready for a fantastic round table of nothing but the specialist Panthers fans and podcasters out there, man? Here to tell their stories about the Panthers, here to boost the Panthers up, here to tell the straight up facts on what they feel and how they feel about the Panthers, man. No capping going on today. I'm hoping everybody's having a great Sunday, man. Look, let me go ahead and introduce everybody, bring them in really quickly as we go on. Look, man, we got Mike Lowry is in the building, man. What's going on, Mike?
What's good, my brother? What's good?
We got Two Growls, One Roar in the building.
How's it going, man?
We got CJ in the building.
Yo, what's up?
We got C Dougie in the building.
Yo.
We got D's Ill Skills in the building.
Let's get it, C3. Let's go, Twandon.
Let's go, man. Look, we got Uncle Quan in the building.
What's up, everybody? What we going? Zone, man. It's your boy Q, a.k.a. Uncle Quan, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Let's get this stream going.
Come on, man. Come on, bro.
Let's get
You
it.
can't talk shit with this, man. We got Panther Pickles in the building.
Keep pounding and pound that like button while you're at it.
Man, last but not least, we got Tony all the way from Dubai in the building.
Yeah. Y'all know what it is. Got 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. Guess I call living. You feel me?
Okay.
What's going on?
Man. I got the little dope sound also, man. But man, y'all ready for a dope round table, man?
Already.
Hey, look, guys. I already talked to the guys, for everybody that's joining today, man. The guys, look, we're going to go with the questions. We're going to make it real fun for the guys today and fun for you. The guys are going to pick a question, a number between 1 and 18. And I'm just going to moderate today, man. I mean, this is your show. This is these guys' shows. This is the show out there. Why do we call this show the Sophomore Roundtable today, man? These guys are all still working hard, up and inspiring. Usually these guys are kind of between 1,000 and 2,000 subscribers. Man, look, you should be listening to all of these guys. The purpose of this show is to let you know it's not just the big names out here. You should be listening to all of these guys. You should be subscribed to all of these guys before this show is over and wonder why they're out here doing what they're doing, making a name for themselves. A lot of you guys already know these guys, but there's people out here that don't know these guys, man. And I want y'all to see how special they are when put to the test and how they do their thing, man. It's going to be an incredible show. Look, man, now for the real introductions, bro. Now for the real introductions. So look, man, we're going to do it like this to really bring them in just to get a quick little update on how they do it, man.
Showed a couple of clips from the beginning of the offseason. Dan Morgan, Dave Canales have been knocking it out the park with priority free agents. Now the draft has been completed. Rookie minicamp starts this Friday. Now we're about to start having live action with the Carolina Panthers, man. We have two great special guests joining us tonight, and we will have a panel opening as well tonight. We have our guy Edgar from Twitter, or X if people call it, and we have our guy Ricky joining us here later, man. But I'm gonna bring my guy Edgar on so he can.
I officially welcome to the show, man. C. Dougie. What's up, Doug? Is in the building, y'all. Y'all give it up for my man C. Dougie in the building right now. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Shout out to all the other podcasters out there today, man. That's still tuning in today, man. These guys gonna give y'all a great show, man. Up next, man. Y'all like that? Did y'all like that? Y'all like the introductions? Now everybody nervous because they like, man, what did he pick for me? Up next, man. Here we go.
A offering this, Team B is offering this. What's the best case scenario for the Carolina Panthers? And they can sit and marinate on that. So that's why I like the Panthers having pick 33 and just really being in control of their destiny with what they want to do with that. I am a fan, if possible, of trading back. It's hard. You can recoup a possibly later second and maybe a fourth. I don't know that you would get a second and a third to move up to, round 2 early in the second round, but
I officially welcome to the show, man. 2 growls, 1 roar. Y'all give it up for that man right now, bro. Stop playing with his name, bro. Y'all give it up for him, man. These guys will tell you all how they can find them at the end of the show, man. So make sure y'all don't go away, and we're going to be ready, man. So up next, I'm doing the one-man engineering thing today, bro. Up next. Let me see who I want to pick next, man. Okay, let's just go right to it, man. Here we go.
And that was over like the last year and a half.
That's crazy. Well, that's not bad, but that is kind of crazy though. But.
Yeah, I asked my mom. I was like, "Is this normal?" She was like, "No, son, that's about right." But
I know
I never was paying over 150 period.
Yeah.
So what happened was when I finally got my own, when I had finally went and got my own insurance, I expected to pay like one sum because when I was under my mom's shit, I was just giving her like 100 bean.
Right.
So then when I had got that's what happened.
I officially welcome to the show, man. From We're Just the Messengers podcast, old Mike Lowry. What's going on, Mike?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'll give it up for my boy Mike, bro. I'll give it up for my boy Mike, man. Go check that man out on We're Just the Messengers. Who's next, man? We winding it down? All right, let's do it like this, man.
Now, it's easy for us to say something just because it makes us feel better. I'm 57. It'd be really easy for me to say to cut that young bastard. He don't like the game. He don't want to play. Fuck him. It would be easy for me to say that, but it's probably incorrect. So I ain't gonna say that. Terrace Marshall, exceptional. One earlier in last year. Did Terrace Marshall talk to the media at the end of last year? Did he make
Nah,
any
not really.
conversations with any media person? He
No.
hasn't. He's kept his
No.
mouth shut.
Hey, man, from the C3 Legion Spaces, man, Panther Pickle is in the building as we only know him. Y'all give it up for Pickle, man. Hey, Pick, was that accurate?
Yeah, that's me.
Hey, look, man. Up next, bro. Let's go.
Young specifically, we're looking at his development and how he did in his first year. His first year, we cannot deny that those key factors definitely played a part. He obviously had the worst offensive line in the league. We're going to get into all that and more, man. We're going to pull out the film, too, so make sure y'all stay tuned. Walk with me. Pull out your pen and pad. Pull out your notebook and all that stuff. Take some notes. I'm about to take y'all to school real quick, and then we're going to open up the panel at the end. So let me go over these points in the film, and y'all hanging up with me, man. But look, these key factors do play a part into to Bryce Young's development. Now, a lot of people will call these excuses.
Officially welcome to the show, man.
Let's
From
go.
the Panthers experience, man. Uncle Quan is in the building. I'll give it up for my man Quan, bro. Hold on, man. Let me get that. Twan, get on the clapping, bro. Let's give it up for him, bro.
Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go.
I got you, man. I got you.
I see what you did with that intro. I see what you did there.
Okay.
Let's get it.
Appreciate that, man. Quan in the building, man. All right, we got a few more to go. I'm going to give all these dudes they justice, man. All they just do. All right, here we go.
He was in Canal's system last year in Tampa. He's probably another one of those guys you bring in, they know the system, they can help out, get everybody else up to speed. But is he a lot to make the 53-man roster? We don't know. So, but I hope that kind of answered your questions from a two fans in the stands perspective. Well, a CJ from two fans in the stands perspective. So I hope that kind of answers your question.
Let me just add on to that last part, which wide receivers make the roster. I think honestly, we have the opportunity to see a big turnover in that wide receiver room, just as we saw with the defense when it came to free agency and who we decided not to sign, who we decided to cut.
I officially welcome to the show, man. Two fans in the stand, Tony and CJ. Y'all give it up for them dudes right now out there bossing up and getting that work in. Give it up for them dudes right now.
What's going on, everybody?
Yeah. Clap it up. Get loud with it. Yes, sir.
There it is, man. Look, got one more. Do we got two more? I think we got one more. Yeah, I'm gonna do it like this. Here we go.
Had Julius Peppers in those seasons that were successful, the logo for the Panthers absolutely was feared, and that defense was a different kind of animal with Julius Peppers on the field. It's rightfully so that he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and finally all of us Panthers fans can celebrate having our first drafted player in the actual Hall of Fame. Now we've got other members in there, but those members weren't originally drafted by us. They had played with other teams before they got here, and that's largely because we were an expansion team for the NFL. But I'm excited about this. I think this is great for the Panthers fans in general, and I hope that fans spend some time looking back at what Julius Peppers was able to accomplish.
One more person, man, from the C3 Army. I officially welcome y'all to the show, man. My man D's Ill Skills. Officially welcome this
Let's go, Twandon. We're going to have a great show tonight. We're going to have a great show, brother. All these great people on the panel. Let's rock this thing.
That's it, man. Y'all met them all. Y'all know what they do. I'm hyped up, man. Y'all know the rules to the questions. They gonna pick the number. I'm just gonna ask the question and stand back and let these guys do what they do, man. Please allow the person that's doing it first to get their answer off. And then if you guys want to rebuttal, just step in and rebuttal. Everybody's gonna get their fair share of talking time. There will be nobody talking over each other. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about that. Show these people today, man, why y'all do what y'all do, man. You feel me? Why y'all do what y'all do, man? Up first, man. Look, since I see him first, on my top is Mike Lowry, man. Mike Lowry, what number are you picking between 1 and 18, bro?
You said 1 through 18?
1 through 18.
13.
13, man. Let's go to the number 13 question, man. Which one game on the schedule do you look forward to seeing the most?
That's honestly a tough one, man. I might sound crazy. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs, man. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. We're gonna go ahead and just set the tone, man. We're gonna set the tone. I'm excited to see that one. That's not me saying I have high expectations, but I want to see how we fare against, Super Bowl champs. The last time we played the Chiefs, of course, is 4 years ago when they was defending champs. And I felt like we could have came out that game with a W. We didn't. It came down to, I think, Joey Sly having to make a 64-yard field goal to tie the game or something like that. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the Chiefs game. That'll really tell me how we are as a team. Of course, other games, with that one in particular, with new head coach, of course, the whole offensive side of the ball is not completely, but it's for the most part different. So I'll be interested to see.
Fantastic, man. Anybody else want to rebuttal on that one?
I'll go to Bucks. The reason why I say the Bucks is I know everybody's answer is probably going to be the Chiefs with them winning the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes coming to Charlotte. But the reason why I say the Bucks is to see what Dave Canales can scheme up against his former team. How can he scheme up and get a Taj Bowles defense? And it's a divisional opponent, and they won the NFC South last year. So I want to see how can Dave Canales really get in his bag, be able to call plays, which he did call plays in Tampa, but he wasn't the head man. So I really want to see, was it really Dave Canales that helped Baker resurge his career? Or was it, Baker being Baker and he just is in a different system? Then on our side with it, I want to see how Bryce Young is able to work with our head coach and now supposedly the quarterback guru head coach and Dave Canales playing against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Excellent answer, man. I feel that too, bro. Look, man, first of all, let's go ahead and shout out my man 2 Block already, man, in the building. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to 2 Block with the $20 cash app, man. We really appreciate it over here at 74 Charlotte Brown Show, man. And I wish I could just, and I'll get all these guys names and things, man. But I'm telling y'all right now, whatever this show makes tonight, man, I'm gonna divide it by 8, and I'm sending it to all of these guys, man, for their time tonight, bro. I promise y'all, man. I promise y'all for their time tonight, man. So shout out to 2 Block, man. He said, "Go Indy, much love, family. Keep pounding." Yeah, he took a shot at me. You know what I'm saying? my Knicks didn't do so well, man. Hey, look, man. Up next, man, we got my man from 2 Growls, 1 Roar, man. What number you picking today, bro?
Let's go with Lucky 9.
That was number 13, so let's get rid of that one.
Sir.
All right. Okay, what number you got?
Let's go with 9.
Number 9.
Yes, sir.
Here we go, man. How do you feel about Fox Sports replacing Greg Hardy with Tom Brady?
Great question. I just did a 2-minute clip on this, and so I haven't shared it, I haven't posted it, but I'm glad to talk about it. I think we all feel like Greg Olson, fantastic job in the booth, amazing job for Fox. Yes, we're Panthers fans, we're going to be homers, but I think even outside of Panthers Nation, people feel like Greg Olson should have been able to retain that number 1 job. Bad news is Fox, I think, didn't think he was going to perform as well as he did. So they see a big name in Tom Brady.
give him $300+ million, and now he's your number one broadcaster. I think the heat's going to be on for Greg Olsen. I don't know what his contract looks like with Fox, but I would assume there's going to be a lot of people in the market that are going to be looking for him and his talents. And I hope, as a Panthers fan, I want to.
We got him frozen a little bit. We got him frozen
I agree with him, though. I agree with
no,
him.
you're back. You're back. You're unfroze. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I don't know where I cut off, but yeah, that was kind of the short view of it.
No, it was very quick. You had just cut off when you got ready to do it. Pickle, what say you, man?
Yeah, I agree with him. I think in the end, and I believe Fox is going to regret this. I think that I think in the end they're going to try to re-promote him back to number one. I don't think he's going to go without a big hefty. And if I was him, as soon as the contract's way, I'd go somewhere else just to spite Fox.
They won't let us have nothing, would they? Not even the commentators.
No.
They said y'all can't even commentate. No Monday night games, none of that.
Yeah, see, Tom Brady rip us off again. Every time we get ripped off, Tom Brady's behind it.
Here you come, man.
Facts.
Hey, look, man. Next, let's go with these ill skills, man. What number you gonna pick, bro?
I would like number 17 for Xavier Legette and Jake Delhomme.
Well, here we go, man. The Panthers have no primetime games. We're just talking about it. Is it a sign of disrespect or did we deserve it?
Well, unfortunately, Twan, 2-15 was our record. Those players that put that tape out there, that's what they earned on the field. And the league rewarded them justly. We got no primetime games. But the good news, the silver lining in that, is that Dave Canales is excited about that. He wants a normal schedule. And as the leader of a football team, I don't blame him. I would want that same normalcy week in, week out, especially on a team that's rebuilding like the Panthers are. Hopefully, we can find some normalcy this season with that regular schedule and find ourselves some wins. I did notice that we did have more 4 o'clock games this year than we did last year. I'm not too disappointed about not having to play Thursday night football. That's a short week and is always a disaster for a team, especially a young offense. A lot of rookies in key positions, hopefully, for the Panthers this year. And then looking at them, it's going to take them some time to gel. So I'd rather those rookies have that normal schedule each and every week without the hectic rush schedule of going into a Thursday night game or something like that, or they may not even be ready for prime time for that matter. So let's just take this time to develop and grow in each and every week, Twan.
Man, that was an awesome answer right there, bro. Anybody want to follow up on that? Anybody else think?
Hey, I 100% agree. We do not deserve a primetime game at all whatsoever. Yeah, I agree.
There's a lot of Panthers fans out there crying about this, man.
Hey, I'll say this, man. I feel like it works in our favor. Like they talked about when I was watching, I can't remember what it was. I was watching something where it was like behind the scenes. They was talking about the schedule and stuff on the phones. But it works out in our advantage because we don't have any short weeks. We can literally have a full week. We can hit the ground running every week in practice, and that'll help these guys kind of get on a consistent schedule, and they won't really have like too much, outside factors or having to rush their process every week because they have a short week. So I would say it worked out in our advantage. I mean, like y'all said, we haven't earned anything. We only won 2 games, so we don't deserve a primetime game. Let's be real, man. We don't deserve it. Let's earn it. Let's go out. Let's go off the schedule first, and let's see how we do this year. And then we can talk about primetime maybe in come playoff time.
Anybody think we did deserve it?
Go ahead, Pickle. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I just wanted to say, Twan, you're right. A lot of fans out there are upset about it, but that's where I think education goes into play. A lot of us and a lot of the bigger podcasts, we just need to re-educate these fans. A lot of these fans just need educated a little bit. Let's educate them a little bit. Let them know, hey, if you want prime time, you got to play like you deserve prime time. You don't get prime time just because you went to the convenience store and bought you a Coke. So
yeah. I feel you. Yeah, I feel him on that. I agree with it. I agree with what everybody is saying on the panel, but my only thing was I feel like we should have got one. And CJ and I, we talked about on our show the other day, uh, the Chicago Bears game. I think that because it has a great storyline. We traded away DJ Moore to move on number one last year to select Bryce Young, and with that first round pick that we gave away to Chicago, they drafted Caleb Williams this year. So now you got last year's number one overall pick against number one overall pick this year. So just for the storyline, in week 5, if both teams go into that game, 500, at least 2-2, I think that would do good for both teams because if we 2-2, we've already matched our win totals for last year. So, like I said, just for the storyline, I think that would have been a good game to put on prime time.
Wow.
That's the game I'm looking at. That's the game I'm looking at.
Hey,
I'm ready for all the Chicago Bear fans just to shut the hell up. I'm tired of hearing them.
Facts, Pickle.
Yeah,
Facts.
I feel that, man.
That was me. I just wanted to say, all is not lost for everybody who feels like we, got robbed and deserve a primetime game. It's easily remedied. If the Panthers win a primetime game, they go out to win some games, and then maybe they'll force the NFL into the season, is what I would forecast. Later on, say that the Bucks Atlanta game in the season, if by some stroke of good luck, we are in a point to maybe vie for the division or a playoff spot, a wild card, that may be a way we get one game, but they got to go out there and do it on the field. So
exactly, man. It was one thing I take from all of this is Quan said exactly how I felt, and the way I think the players feel is, no short week. I mean, we don't have to worry about short weeks, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think the players are upset. You know what I'm saying? Because they get the rest more. You know what I'm saying? And football, we know how tough of a sport football is. So, I can see both ways on it. CJ, you're up next, man.
All right. Let me get number 8.
Number 8. How do you feel about Cam Newton saying he would choose CJ Stroud over Bryce Young? It's getting thick now.
All right. Now, are we talking about now, or are we talking about before the draft last year?
On his last show, fourth and 1. The last time he spoke on it.
Okay, so he's talking about picking him now. I don't have an issue with it. I don't have an issue with it at all. I mean, it's his opinion. He's free to it. Me and Tony on our show before the draft, we were team CJ Stroud. We wanted them to pick CJ Stroud, for obvious reasons. But yeah, I don't have an issue with it. I mean, Cam's got the right to say exactly what he wants to say, but I'm in the headspace now where we got Bryce Young. Okay. I pray he does better. I pray we do better as a team, and I'm just gonna rock with him.
Hey, CJ. Now I ain't gonna let your ass walk out of that easy.
All right, come on with it.
You came with the PG answer. Did you agree with him? That's the tough question.
Yeah, I don't. Well, let me see. If you're going by what he had on the field last year between two quarterbacks, then yeah, I agree with him. I get it. Yeah,
I know. There's some people that want to speak on this one, so go ahead and just go.
Hey, Twan, can I chime in on it?
Go for it.
All right, so I'll say this, and I think you joked about it on your last show. The fan base is torn because of one quarterback, regardless if it was Bryce, and a lot of people want to see CJ Stroud. This fan base has been torn since last year's draft. A lot of people were team CJ Stroud. A lot of people were team Bryce. Then when you look at the production of CJ Stroud making it to the playoffs and winning the division, that's where the problem lies. Everybody thought we were a quarterback away. And I made this comment on several people's channels and a couple people's channels up here. We were not one quarterback away. Whenever you look at it, yes, I understand our defense is always on top. They're always in the top 10, but offensively, we have never had an identity. Then you look at the pieces that we brought in, and I've said that Scott Fitterer has failed this organization since he's been a GM. From start to finish, when you build through the draft and you look at the money that he was spending on free agents, outside of the draft picks, who's still on this team? Then you think that people thought his offensive line was great. Oh, we have more weapons. Again, like I've said, when you give up 63 sacks, what is your quarterback supposed to do? I understand the blame is going to be on Bryce. Everybody wants to say Bryce is the problem. Bryce didn't block. Bryce didn't catch the ball. Bryce fumbled the ball. Yes, he did, but Miles Sanders fumbled a lot as well. So again, I understand the young man, and I know a lot of Panther fans are upset with it, but he's not the full blame for it. There's blame to go around all throughout that building and throughout the roster. And I think now if you look at what Dan Morgan was able to do, now everything's on him because he has every tool at his disposal.
So, let me go ahead and make something. I want to make something clear why I got the moment too is everybody knows all the things I said about Bryce Young, the bisexual movement and all of that. But listen, man, the truth is I also came out and said that, man, I want Bryce Young to be great. I would love to eat crow. So if Bryce Young goes out there and goes 14-3 next year, I still win, bro. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can come after me. That'll be great, man. But we're winning, bro. Look, at this point, I don't care what it takes to win. I also said this. It was not all on Bryce. That whole organization was jacked up. It was not all on him. But the reason why I feel like it went that way was because when you're the quarterback, man, they take the wins, and then people was just like, well, I feel like we have to do it with the losses. But anybody that loves football and knows it and sees it knows it was not all that man's fault, bro. Not in any way, no shape, no how. The coaching was horrible. We thought we had the Avengers. I don't know what you call that group. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully he got the right people in his ear and he's gonna ball out, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to get some wins.
Yep.
Or the fan base will be forever fighting. You feel me? Anybody else want to chime in on that subject?
I agree. I don't have a problem with all what Cam said. I think he has a right to his opinion. And how many people, they may not have gone on camera and said it. They may not have told anybody about it. But how many people watched Stroud play in the playoffs last year and say, yeah, maybe we should have took that guy, But you can't go back and change history. You just can't. A lot of us could go back in each individual draft and say, here's the guy we should have took, but we can't. So you take what you got and you move forward.
The only thing we gotta go ahead. Let me get it real quick. I'll hand it right back to you, Tony. All I was going to say is we got a room full of podcasters here, and that's what Cam Newton is now. Cam Newton's a podcaster. Sometimes you have to say controversial things to stir up a little bit of engagement or to stir up a good conversation and get people talking about the situation that you have at hand. Go ahead, Tony.
No, what I was going to say was kind of right in line with what you just said, D, was basically my question to Ken would be, what was your thought? What would your answer would have been before the draft last year? Because easy to say, yeah, CJ Stroud would be the quarterback I would have taken this year. Because that's hindsight, looking back based off of what CJ did and what Bryce did last year. But before the draft, which quarterback would you have taken? That to me would be a more honest question, and I would love to hear what his answer would be on that.
I agree with that, man. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Anybody else? Anybody else on this subject? Quan, you just picked, right?
No, I didn't pick yet.
All right, here we go, man. Let's go, Uncle Quan. Quan is going to make a pick for the next question. What number you going with between 1 and 19? It was 1 through 19.
Let me go with my lucky number 4.
4. Here we go, man.
Number 4.
Here's your question, man. What style of offense and defense would you like to see the Panthers run this season?
Oh, nice. Well, I was looking at the film with Dave Canales, specifically his playoff run against the Philadelphia Eagles and the Detroit Lions, and I saw Dave Canales spread the ball around a lot. I mean, a lot of different guys touch the ball. I don't really know a specific scheme to that I really want, but I do like the what Dave Canales did. His philosophy in those games, man. He spread the ball around. He got the ball out of Baker Mayfield's hands very quick. He ran the ball. He did a lot of motions to kind of a lot of pre-snap motion to kind of throw off the defense. Just kind of have dirty eyes with the defense. So as far as the offense go, I just want to see a lot of people touch the ball, man. A lot of different people touch the ball, which is why I think they went with these guys in the draft with you went with Xavier Legette, you got Jonathan Brooks, and then you got JT Sanders, who are all guys that can contribute in different ways at different positions. So I think Dave Canales is going to contribute the ball in different ways. I mean, I think we're going to see a lot of RPO situations and stuff like that, just where you can get the ball out quick and kind of force the defense to kind of back off of those pressures. So that's what I want to see on offense. As far as the defense, I mean, I'm gonna just let Evero cook. I don't think we need to change anything. Obviously, we got some new pieces in here. I trust Evero to be able to work with these pieces because he showed me last year that he can work with some backups just fine. So you bring these new pieces in here, I think we're gonna be just fine. So let Evero cook in that 3-4 defense. I think we're gonna be just fine.
Was Quan ready for that question or what? Oh my God, bro! Excellent answer, man. Anybody else want to follow up with that?
I think I agree with what he was saying on that. I'm just interested to see finally us. We got to get some points on the board, man. Like of course our defense hasn't really been the main issue over the last three years or so. Of course we got some new faces on defense. I think we may struggle somewhat on the edge, but I think with Evero he'll be able to put something together to where we're not hurting as bad. Offense, I'm just looking for some consistency, man. and whatever form that is, I do not want to see a bunch of screen. I will say I don't want to see a bunch of screen plays though. I don't. That's something I do not want to see. I don't want to see a whole bunch of screen plays. I'm sick of it. And just being able to hopefully have some plays down the field. As you know, it's an offensive heavy driven league. You know, you got to be able to extend the field. I don't want to see conservative play calling either. Nothing safe. Like we got to be able to take chances. Test. Don't be scared. Like test the defense. I don't care if they got 2 Pro Bowlers back here. You got to be able to keep a defense honest. So hopefully we can have some plays where we're at least trying to throw this ball 30, 40 plus yards down the field.
Great answer.
Agree with that.
I'm being honest.
I'd like to add on a little bit. For the offense, I don't have real high expectations. I just want to see watchable football. I want to see a team that can produce some points on a consistent basis, even if they're field goals. I just want to see a team that is somewhat productive on offense. On defense, I do have more expectations, though. My first expectation is I want to see a defense that can stop the run. When we've got teams running on us on 3rd and 7 and getting first downs, there's no way to get off the field. We're trapped, and the offense doesn't even get a chance. And when they do, they bungle it anyway. So I want to see an offense that doesn't turn the ball over and consistently moves the football. And on defense, I want to first of all stop the run. If we can stop the run, then maybe we can start to call some turnovers. That's the other thing I wanted to see on defense. We were last in the league in interceptions, and I don't believe we forced many fumbles either. And I don't believe we were very high in sacks. I think we were low in the league in that as well. So I want to get to the quarterback. I want to see some interceptions. I want to see some forced fumbles by this defense that can also stop the run would be my key to that.
Man. If y'all are not subscribed to all these channels, man, y'all cheating yourself.
I am looking forward to seeing Derek and William. Who did we get in for? Was that Ashawn Robinson?
Robinson.
I'm looking forward to seeing that pairing on the D line for sure. I think that'll definitely help with that run defense for sure. That's the one I'm really looking forward to. I know we not going to be as strong in the secondary. Hopefully JC can stay healthy. Linebacker, that's going to be, of course, kind of average, mediocre, but it definitely starts up front. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. How many of you guys, man, this is a bonus question right here. How many of you guys think that we're loading up on running backs because they're going to take the ball out of Bryce's hands a lot?
No, I think that was more so Miles
and run that ball a lot.
I don't think it's necessarily
with the run.
Oh, go ahead.
Go anybody.
No, good.
I mean, does the run game help Bryce? So it's not totally dependent on him.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think it's
I think it
necessarily
does.
to take the ball out of Bryce Young's hands, but like you just
No, I'm
said,
not
it's
talking
really
about
to help
completely
out.
just, get a real run game established.
Right.
Right.
And I mean, that's what Dave Canales said he want to do. He want to establish the run game. And when you have a good run game, that can put stress on the defense. When you got them playing up, it opens up the top. So when you're able to run the ball, you're pretty much controlling the tempo of the game, and you can pretty much control what you want to do on offense as far as shot plays and stuff like that. So run the ball and get these defenses to stress, get them tired and worn out, and you can do whatever you want to do with that defense. It's really just a game of chess at that point.
Yeah, a good running game.
My bad. Go ahead.
A good running game will draw a safety into the box. As soon as that safety into the box, you got a tight end one-on-one with a linebacker or one safety, and it opens up holes in the passing game if you bring that safety into the box, providing the quarterback can get the ball out quick and accurate. But it opens up so much if it's handled correctly and you don't run the football. I believe Canales and this staff knows what they're doing. So,
yeah, we got to get out those. We got to get out those second and longs, man. We got to get out of them. Like those second and longs, you won't be able to experiment with nothing if you can't get out of second and long. So if you establish, rather it be the pass, the run. Of course, the run is more favorable because it's not a lot of pressure on Bryce. But like you said, it opens up the playbook. So we getting in the 2nd and 4, 2nd and 3. You can pretty much play around with anything. But it all starts up front with the O-line too. That goes into the fact of the run game. Of course, we signed two guys. We signed 2 guys in the all season. I'm excited about Hunt and I can't remember my guy's name for Seattle right now.
Damian
Lewis.
I will say though, because I do have to say this because last year I was on Twan's show and I got to eat crow. I was so wrong about Ekim, so I'll go ahead and I'll eat crow on that. I ain't gonna throw him away completely. But I do have him on watch. He is on severe watch this year, so I expect.
Which player are you talking about?
Ekem Aquanu.
Oh, okay.
So he's definitely on my watch list this year because I expected way better from him last year. So, but I do have him on watch this year.
Yeah.
Because last season was definitely it wasn't it, and I expected the O-line to be better. So
if he's gonna take care of Bryce's blind side, he got to get better, bro. He got it, but I trust that he will.
Yeah, he better hope he does.
What about you, Two Growls? What you think?
Hold on, I'm trying this again. I may have to flip the camera off. First of all, shout out to Mr. Whoever in the chat who says I put out garbage content. Just want to say appreciate you. Glad you're here tuning in. Want to let you know that, hey, you're talking to a guy that calls into ESPN Wilmington to report on the Panthers. So I appreciate it. I'm glad you're here to drop a comment. So we'll keep it going. Anyway, speaking specifically, I'll call you out. I don't care. You blocked me on X. I don't even know who you are. So welcome to the chat and let's bring it on. Let's bring on the fun.
Who said that, man? Let me get them out of here.
Whoever, bro. Mr. Strats. I don't even know who the person is, but I will call you out specifically if you're going to call me out saying I put out garbage content. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to put up with it. But anyways, I mean, for me personally, when just taking a larger look at this, yes, I think we are going to see a push for the run game specifically, bringing in all these backs. I also think the wide receiver position is going to open things up this year. I mean, you can go out, whether we talk about the open rate for Johnson, whether we talk about Xavier Legette, how he's going to get involved in this team, and how the running backs are going to play into the passing game. I've said this on a few shows if people follow it. The 3rd leading receiver for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in yardage was a running back. So I think getting running backs involved is going to be a lot more than just running the ball. But the good news is there's only one way to go, and that is up. When you have the 2nd worst offense in Panthers history in points per game, there's only one way to go up. So I'm excited to see what this team could do.
Excellent answer, man. Excellent. Hey, look, man, don't bring that clown shit into the chat in here, y'all, man. Let these guys trying to do something positive. If you ain't got nothing good to say, keep it to yourself, man. Or we'll just get you up out of here, man. That's not cool. These guys work hard. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for you to sit in a chat and say something and don't nobody know who you are. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Twan, before you move on, let me just say one thing about everything. Like what everybody said is good. Having stocking up on the running backs. Looking for a good running game. But people watch our show. One thing that I've always talked about is definitely the trenches. Because if the trenches ain't right, none of that run game or pass game is going to matter. Like we said earlier, I think that was Mike that mentioned that bringing in Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis, those were two key free agent additions. But the one thing that I wanted Carolina to do, and I was hoping that they would do in the draft, was address the center position. Now we go from Bradley Bozeman, who was a big body hog molly type at the center position, but he didn't have that athleticism to run that wide zone scheme that Thomas Brown was trying to implement last year. Well, Dave Canales run a system similar to that. If you look at a lot of the runs that Rashad White had last year with Tampa Bay, it was wide zone. So having you someone that's athletic that can move at the center position and also be stout enough to help you when you want to run north to south. I think that was a position that we should have addressed that we missed out on, because I think now you're putting a lot of stock on Austin Corbett coming back from a torn ACL and the MCL sprain to be your starting center. And then who is the backup to him? You know what I mean? So to me, yes, we addressed the two guard positions, but in my opinion, the center position is still kind of suspect until we see how it plays out in the preseason. I think that's a position to watch.
Okay.
Hey, and they
That's
also
incredible.
said that Brady Christensen is getting snaps as the backup center. And Austin
I'm with
Corbett
it.
already scared me enough. That's icing on the cake for me.
Exactly. So, man, that's great, man. That's awesome. Pickle, it's your turn to pick, man.
Wonderful.
It's your turn to pick.
Give me number 9.
I think somebody picked number 9 already.
Oh, okay. Well, give me number 5.
Number 5?
Number 5.
Here we go. Number 5, what player do you feel could be a surprise trade or cut before the Panthers carve down to the 53-man roster? And before you answer, I want you guys to also know these questions were compiled between myself and the first lady of the 704 Charlotte Bound Show, Claire Aries, man. And you know what I'm saying? And y'all know the work Claire put in out there, man. So congrats to her as well, man. So this is
Hey,
not
shout
all
out
me
to
with the
Claire.
questions. Shout out to Claire, bro. But I repeat the question. What player do you feel could be a surprise trade or cut before the Panthers carve down to the 53-man roster? Fickle?
Miles Sanders. Is that a surprise? If it ain't, I got another one.
Trade or cut?
Oh, cut. Ain't nobody gonna take that damn contract.
They just
Cut.
that simple.
Miles Sanders. Can you not hear me?
Yeah,
Miles Sanders. Cut.
He just said Miles Sanders.
He's simple to the point.
Yeah. Miles Sanders. Nobody's gonna take that contract. I would imagine he gets cut. I'd like to trade him for a conditional 7th round pick in like 2030 or something, but there ain't nobody gonna take that contract.
Hey,
Who
Pickle,
else
what
wants
about
to answer
Ian
that? Doug,
Thomas?
you got it.
I was saying Ian Thomas. I know it's a lot of people on this panel right now that wish Ian Thomas does get cut. I know one person makes me laugh every time. One person always made me laugh. He said he is a CIA agent, that he got some inside information on somebody, but I really think Ian Thomas and Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
I think Miles Sanders and Ian Thomas are on the top of everybody's list.
Now, I agree about Miles Sanders, about Ian Thomas, but my issue with Ian Thomas is if you look at the depth chart and you take him out of the picture, you got your rookies Sanders, and you have, of course, Tommy Tremble. You ain't got nobody beyond that. I know
you got Sullivan. Pickle. Don't.
I know Sullivan, but Sullivan ain't. You know what? Sullivan is a little faster than Ian Thomas. I'll give you that. Other than that, I don't see much difference in the two. They both drop passes. Sullivan will get open quicker, but if you can't catch a ball, it don't matter how much you get open. So that's my opinion.
I'm over Ian Thomas, honestly. Like,
Man,
it's
I want
just
Ian Thomas to be
he
bad,
just
good
taking
so bad.
he taking up space. Like, it's just he done ran his course. It would be either him or Miles Sanders. I'm with one of them.
I, I
A
He's
surprise,
been
a
through 3
surprise
different
would be,
regimes.
yeah, because I mean Ian Thomas been with us since 2018.
yeah, it wouldn't.
I'm
He wouldn't
glad
be
CJ
surprised
said that
for
because
me. That's
I'm glad CJ said that because I want to come back to that really quickly. CJ just said something very, very important. He survived how many regimes?
He was Rivera, Rule, Frank Wright, and now he's
Right.
with Canales.
So really, we
NSA,
should be
man.
asking the question: how does he
NSA
keep surviving?
T14.
It must be something that they like.
Probably blocking. I don't know.
he's a Shaq Thompson on the offense, ain't he?
NSA, man.
Ah,
People, his mama done work for the NSA, man.
Yeah.
Hey
I
man,
tell
shout out
you.
to Ian Thomas, man. They trying to get your job, man. I'm sticking up.
hey, we could trade him for some gym equipment, man, and move on, dog.
Hey man, now in the OTA, he looked pretty healthy. We might stick him as a backup left tackle. I
Y'all been
mean,
trying
they
to
say he
y'all
can
been trying to
block.
get rid of Ian for 4 years now.
Who knows?
Listen,
He might be better
I
than
see.
Iggy.
I see Paul Mancini in the comments. Shout out to Paul. What's happening, my guy? He said Sullivan Trimble can't block well. I just totally disagree with that. I think Tommy Trimble right now is the best blocking tight end that you have on the
Better than
squad.
Ian?
Remember,
I agree.
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
If you go back and watch, watch games, watch films, Ian Thomas a lot of time was had the wrong angle. A lot of times you always see I'm not Tommy Trimble, I keep saying Tommy Trimble. You keep seeing Ian Thomas on the ground. Tommy Trimble, as far as being an all-around tight end, he's a better blocker. He's more aggressive in his block. He has a better base. He know how to take the proper angles. That's something that Ian Thomas don't have. And I don't understand for the life of me why these coaches come in and say, "Oh yeah, well Ian Thomas is a great blocking this and that." Well, if he's such a great blocker, then why did y'all give him reduce his pay? He went from 6.5 to 1.3 or $1.4 million this year. So outside of that's the only reason that I can see that they kept Ian Thomas, that he's sticking around this year, because the value matches his production, which is none.
Man, y'all got Ian Thomas driving home every day like this, man. I mean,
Yeah,
I hope he drive past his house. I hope he
look,
drive past his house and
you see
keep
the
going.
car seats. You see the car seats behind him, right?
Yeah. When Ian Thomas is blocking, the only person on their butt more than Ian Thomas is Chandler Zavala.
Yeah.
And you got to think it's going to get to the point where when Ian Thomas is in the game, they're going they're running the ball.
Yeah.
Because that's
right.
really all he brings is
he's only going to be in there for that.
Yeah.
Good point, CJ. Good point.
That's a good point.
Is that everybody? Has everybody picked, or did I leave somebody out?
No, I haven't picked.
I think Tony and myself haven't picked. Go ahead, Tony.
Okay, Tony and C-Dog. Tony, it's on you, man.
Well, I say, we're gonna go with all the Cam Newton fans. As Cam Newton is a legend in Panther Nation. Let me go ahead and get number one.
Number one, man. Let's go. If Evero coaches well this year, is this his last year in Carolina?
It very well could be. I know the last 2 or 3 hiring cycles he has had interviews with other teams. But one thing that bothers me about the interviewing process, and I know we all familiar with the Rooney Rule, is like when you have these African American coaches that's up for these head coaching jobs, it's always kind of suspect because you don't know what's real or what's and what isn't. So it's like, what is the seriousness in these teams inquiring about certain guys? You know what I mean? So, but I do think that with winning cures all. If you got a defense in the top 10, top 15, and they're producing, and your team as a whole is winning, I think that betters your chances to get a head coaching position out there. Well, hopefully, if he do leave, there's someone that can that can be promoted within, hopefully, that can continue that 3-4 defensive scheme that we're running now, that we're in year 2 of in the Evero system. Because I don't think it would benefit us to blow that up and then you starting all over again with another defensive scheme.
Excellent answer, man. Anybody else want to rebuttal on if Evero coaches well this year? Is this his last year in Carolina?
Yeah, I think it will. I think it will be because he had a lot of attention on him last year, and if he continues to grow, I think he'll get an opportunity somewhere else next year. Because like you said, our defense really hasn't been an issue lately. Just hopefully, if he was to take another route, we can bring somebody in there to basically keep the ball rolling. And that's one thing, because even if we look over these last 4 years, I just honestly want to get back to a place where we just got equal balance on both sides as far as production, because it's like we already knew 2020 we was taking a hit on the defensive side. Offense was putting up better numbers than the defense as far as production. Then we get to 2021, 2022, defense was handling his business. Offense can't do nothing. We get to 2023, same thing. Defense, putting us in positions. Offense get the ball stagnant. So I'll be happy for Everall if he does, but at the same time too, hopefully we could just get somebody in there who could just consistently keep it going.
Okay.
Hey, now didn't the Panthers block him from interviewing with somebody this past offseason?
Yeah, because he on the contract.
Yeah, as a DC. Yep.
Okay, DC. Okay, yeah.
They
he was
wanted
almost
him
out here
after
this
last
year.
Yep. Which to be honest, if he could have went somewhere else, I think he would have. I think he would have went somewhere else as a DC if he could have. I think he's here because they said, no, you're under contract, you ain't going nowhere else. So he's here. So.
I mean, he's the best, coach on the staff. He was the best coach we had on the staff last year.
But I mean, y'all can look at the pay though. Look at the pay. Nobody's gonna pay him what Carolina paid him. That's one thing that I was gonna say. David Tepper did right by the coaches. He made sure some of these coaches were the highest paid coaches in the NFL, and some of these coaches were making more than some NFL head coaches. So I don't think necessarily that he was gonna leave for another DC job. He was actually making good money, and I think he even said him and his family, and going into his second year, they were more comfortable in Charlotte. So that's just my opinion. But I don't think he would have took another job for the money that he was making. And the defense, where you look at, he was bringing in talent that he wanted to actually have a better opportunity to get in the head coaching job next year. He brought in guys that were familiar with the scheme, but they weren't just plug and pull people that we did last year. These players had their best years underneath his scheme. So I think that needs to be looked at as well.
Yeah,
that's a good point, C-Doug. That's a good point, bro.
If I may add to one.
Go ahead, Pickle.
Our outside linebackers, I have a lot of trouble pronouncing his name. Timpa Luca, he's an outside linebackers coach. He was blocked. We blocked him from interviewing for the defensive coordinator job for the Giants. He's been a defensive coordinator for Boston College before. So we've got a few guys on our staff who could take over as but a lot of them would be and the defensive line coach, Todd Walsh, was a defensive coordinator for several years for the Jaguars. So we've got a few guys on staff already who could be defensive coordinator, but how good will they be? That's kind of up in the air. So
I think that was one of the best things that happened for Carolina this year was keeping that defensive coaching staff intact, keeping the coaches intact, keeping the defensive scheme intact. Everall got an opportunity to bring in guys that has played with him before, that is familiar with his system. So there's not a lot of teaching that has to be going that will be going on during this off season. The guys can kind of like hit the ground running. So I think that's beneficial, not only for the guys that he brought in, but for the guys that were drafted and the free agents that was picked up this year that didn't play for Everall. You got these other guys that can help, bring them along in the system. So that was the best thing that happened to Carolina this offseason was keeping that defense coaching staff intact.
Adding to what Tony just said, before we go to the next one with C-Doug, the only thing that I worry about and I wonder if y'all worry too about Evero doing well and all that. Is will the players want to follow him, and will those coaches want to follow him?
Yes.
And we
Probably
have to
so.
rebuild that
Yeah,
defense all over again, bro.
One
probably
thing the
so.
Panthers don't do good
Hopefully,
is keeping players.
Right,
yeah. Hopefully it won't clean house. You know,
right.
you can expect him to probably take 2 or 3 people with him. You know what I'm saying? But if there's a key player like Todd Walsh or the linebacker coach Labaku, I'm like you pickle, and I can't pronounce his damn last name neither. But yeah, Tim. I think his first name is Tim. But if you can
Yeah.
keep 1 or 2 key pieces and elevate them or promote them to defensive coordinator, and they can keep that system intact, I think that's the most important thing, keeping that 3-4 system intact, keeping guys around that are familiar with the players, the defensive scheme and everything. But yeah, I have no doubt that he's going to take somebody with him. Dom Capers is going to go wherever Evero go.
Mm, okay, man. Excellent answers all around, man. See, Doug, it's your chance to make a pick, man, with the numbers.
Hey, can you hear me?
Absolutely.
All right, give me 3.
Number 3. Do you guys regret that the Panthers not drafting a true quarterback to compete with Bryce Young?
No, not really, because again, if and it's hard to take coaches' words. Meaning, what I mean by words is when they have these pressers and actually tell us what they want. They want a veteran in that room. They just don't want a rookie. They want a veteran that can actually push Bryce and help teach Bryce along with Andy Dalton. I know you got people around here saying, "Oh, Jack Plummer or Jake Plummer, whatever his first name is going to take Bryce's job." No, he's not. Again, I mean, we've all seen it, and I make jokes of it. But if you can't throw a 5-yard slant in rookie minicamp, you're in shorts and no shoulder pads and helmet. How can well you're wearing a helmet, but how can you really compete with Bryce? Bryce at least looked good during training camp and mini camp. I think that's one thing that I think a lot of people did want Spencer Rattler out of South Carolina to come. You had Milton out of Tennessee, which the Patriots double back and got a quarterback. For me, I think it's a relax. One thing I was glad what Aaron Rodgers did when he told the Green Bay Packers with the word relax. I think a lot of people are hitting the panic button because of what's going on with the situation of the offense. Outside of that, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. And I think a lot of people need to put respect on Bryce's name. And I stand on that.
Anybody else want to rebuttal to that?
Yeah, I don't think they would have. I'm good that they didn't draft a quarterback. I want Bryce to go in this year saying this is my job to lose. If to me, in my own opinion, if you would have brought a quarterback in to challenge him, it would have been another excuse by certain fans. If he would have failed, it would have been, well, you didn't have no faith in him. What do you expect him not to work out? I'm glad they did it this way. I have a lot of hopes he'll come out slinging it, and he'll prove a lot of people wrong, because I've got a long list of people I'm going to hit up when he proves them wrong.
Yes, sir.
And now, if he don't, then we'll move on to the next guy. So,
I want to chime in on that. You said you can you read the question off one more time though? I want to make
Absolutely.
sure I'm not.
The question really goes: does anybody regret that the Carolina Panthers didn't draft somebody to come in and compete with Bryce?
So, in order to draft somebody to come in to compete with Bryce at the quarterback position, you got to draft high. So, if you draft a quarterback in this draft high, that would have been the dumbest thing you could have done. We got so many holes, and we talked about it earlier. We still haven't even gotten a center in the draft. So, you go and get a quarterback high in the draft. That would have been very questionable, a very puzzling pick. I mean, I get it. Yeah, you do want to challenge Bryce Young. You want to beef up the competition around your position groups. Including the quarterback position, but bring in another veteran. I mean, obviously they got an undrafted free agent, but I mean, as far as like really competing with Bryce. There's nobody on this roster that's competing with Bryce for that spot. It's Bryce's job to lose. I mean, if he goes down with an injury, then we're talking about Andy Dalton stepping in or something like that. But yeah, this is Bryce's job all the way through and through, man. This team is building around Bryce Young, so drafting a quarterback high in the draft just wouldn't have made sense. Now I can understand if this year just doesn't work out, Bryce Young stinks it up, and we go win another 2 games this year, then we're looking at another quarterback high in next year's draft. But this year, it definitely wouldn't have made sense to draft a quarterback at all.
Okay.
Hey, Twan, can I repeat? Or I'm looking at the chat.
Hey, bro, you don't have to ask me. This is your show.
Well, no. Like I said, I just want to be respectful because I don't want to sound angry or I don't want to sound like I'm going at somebody. But I'm tired of fans saying Bryce sucks. Like one people got to understand. Bryce did not block for him. The coach did not want him. The weapons that we had. One thing that, I've talked to some of these people behind the scenes. One particular person sent me a video about DJ Chark. Everybody can say, oh, DJ Chark was this, DJ Chark was that. The very first clip, you see DJ Chark get jammed, and it's like he got scared. I understand he had a great game against Green Bay. Whoop-de-doop-de-doo. Other than that, what has he really done for Bryce Young outside of that game? And then you look at Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen did not think he was supposed to come in to be the number 1 target. Miles Sanders, we overpaid him. You already heard Pickles say he's his number 1 target that he wants to be off this team. Everybody can blame Bryce, but again, like I made a comment earlier, everybody wants to blame Bryce, but who else are y'all going to blame? Yes, the quarterback does take most of the blame whenever you lose. I agree with that. Bryce was not great at all. I will stand on that. But I think when your GM, your new GM, our new GM, Dan Morgan, comes out and spends $150 million in the offensive line on the first 2 days, that should tell everybody that they knew this offensive line was trash. Then if you look at the retaining pieces that we brought in the offensive line, we didn't bring anybody back that we cut or their contract ran out. So again, I understand that Bryce sucked it up. He looked bad. And then let's really talk about what's going to happen going forward. Again, everybody wants to stay in the past and say, oh, Bryce is this and Bryce is that. If he shows what he can really do, what are you going to say then? Twan already said that, it's putting fire underneath him to say, I want my quarterback to do good because I'm a Panther fan. But all these other people that want him to be trash or they say he's trash, just wait whenever he does have weapons, he has the protection, and he's able to show what he was able to do at Alabama.
I'm going to be the first person to eat crow because I wanted. Hey, look, but that O-line last year was fucking trash.
It was. So was
I
the
don't
GM.
know what quarterback could do anything with that line.
Together. So. But the GM put it together. He's his biggest threat, and not to vary off conversation, but several people in the chat, folks. If you're going to hate on Bryce, don't stick up for Mingo. If you're going to hate on Mingo, don't stick up for Bryce. A rookie's a rookie. If you look at the best guy drafted last year was supposed to be Bryce. If he struggles, you a fool to think them other guys ain't gonna struggle.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
funny that you said that.
everybody entitled to their opinion. So
Yes,
I look at it like
there's
that.
a lot of people bad opinions.
We all know winning makes all this shit go away.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying winning will be a solution. Hey, look, man, I ain't heard enough from Deez, bro. Deez, let me get you speak on this, man.
Well, we didn't take a quarterback, and certainly we could have taken one, but we saw what worked out with Matt Corral trying to do that, and that didn't work out too well for us at all, and we even traded up to do so. So, let's look around the division. Do Panthers fans want Baker Mayfield? I don't think they do. He didn't do very well here. Do Panthers fans want Derek Carr? No, I don't. I think most Panthers fans didn't want Derek Carr. And then do Panthers fans want Kirk Cousins off an ACL injury for $100 million a season? Probably not. So, we got Bryce Young. It is what it is. If he wasn't your pick, I get that. And it's like the main thing about Bryce, if you didn't like him coming out of college and then they traded up to draft him, and then we had that abysmal season last year, I see where you're coming from. I really do. That 2-win season and the production we had on offense, buddy, it was tough to watch. And you got to remember that 62 sacks was a record for the Panthers. And the last time that was done was Steve Berline. Steve Berline threw for like 4,300 yards in 1999. And then the very next season instead of having his return to glory and another great passing year. No, the Panthers' O-line was horrible, and they gave up 62 sacks. So maybe next year we'll reverse those stats, and Bryce Young will pass and break the passing record. Maybe he'll throw for 4,400 yards. I think that's insane. We probably won't, but it's just something to think about. It's a possibility. Maybe we'll be better. But if you're against Bryce, I understand where you're coming from 100%. But there's not much else in the division to be super excited for as far as quarterbacks anyway.
Yeah, don't go out on the fit. Look, man, don't go into Sundays hoping for him to fail. That's stupid.
Oh, bro, hey, man, it's already happening. If you take a look at this chat, you got guys in here literally wishing on a downfall. Like they're literally bringing up every scenario. What if Bryce fail? What if Bryce fail? What are y'all gonna say? What if Bryce fail? You never see a what if he actually succeeds. So
what if he doesn't fail?
What if he does pan out? What if he does pan out? Then what?
Yeah.
I think with us as a fan base, and I've been vocal about this before on Twan Show. Ever since Rivera got up out of here, it's been a lot of reaction to things quickly from the fan base and from the organization. And you got to understand, and I said this multiple times, when you clean house like that, you're not going to turn the tide like that. Now, last year, everybody, for the most part, I felt like thought we would be way better than 2 wins, myself included. It didn't happen like that. But you have to get to a point, and this is why, and I still don't like Tepper till this day. I think he kind of fed into that too, being overly emotional, like making Bryce like keep firing. We just can't keep firing coaches for one, and you have to keep Bryce in there. Was I a CJ Stroud guy? Yes, but I also told Twan I'd be happy with Bryce Young too. I don't have no doubts about Bryce Young. He had a bad year. He threw the interceptions, which I think on the other side was good for him. So he looks like a guy who studies tape. He doesn't look like a guy who's going to BS around in the film room. He's going to correct his mistakes, but we also have to have patience as well. Like, so this whole, what if he do this? It's just a negative. And then that continues to feed into the narrative of us not having a consistency of winning. We are here now, so all we can do is go up. I don't think we can get no worse than last year. So you have to ride the shit with Bryce. He's our quarterback. I don't have no doubts about him. But if it's like that, then I'm not surprised, because amongst our fan base, I feel like sometimes we just overly emotional when it comes to certain things.
We are.
Hey,
our fan base is different. Go for it, CJ.
I just want to say this, just lighten this up a little bit. I say this all the time on our channel. A lot of this hate on Bryce Young, it's almost, it feels like it's personal. You know what I mean? Sometimes it doesn't feel like it's straight football. Okay, sometimes it feels like they went to high school with Bryce, went to college with him, and he stole every girl that they ever wanted to talk to, and they still ain't got over it yet. You know what I mean? And I know I'm just throwing that out there, but I mean, sometimes it doesn't feel like it's like I hate him because of football. It's almost like, you know, with everything that was done, bringing him in, trading it all, you know, DJ Moore, first round pick, second round pick. It's like, forget all that. I just hate him as a human being, and there's nothing anybody can say to make me feel different. So yeah, that's what it seems like most of the time.
I'm gonna say two things. I'm gonna say two things. I think the grief comes from two aspects. But like I said, I want Bryce to be great because I'm tired of losing. I think the grief comes from two aspects. Whether the people are speaking truth or they're speaking out of emotion, which a lot of people are doing that. I think is CJ Stroud fans that wanted CJ Stroud and didn't get him. And that's where I fell in. You feel me? And then the media told all of us everything Bryce Young was going to be and who CJ Stroud wasn't going to be. And then they're holding on to that. But that's media. That's what the media said. You feel me? I can see if you're pulling it from your own point. But the media will try to start anything, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. When that guy got picked on our team, if he does something bad, I'm going to talk about it. I'm a podcaster.
Yeah.
But when he does something good, after that Green Bay game, I was in here telling y'all how great that dude looked. That's something promising. We could go on that. And that was with a shitty line. Imagine what the dude can do if he get time back there. But I think the two aspects with the people that don't care for Bryce Young is that we didn't get CJ Stroud, and that's who they wanted. And then the media said Bryce Young was all world, and they roll with it because a lot of people don't do their homework. You know what I'm saying? But I say again, if you're cheering for him to fail, that's stupid.
I
You're not
definitely question.
a
I
Panthers fan,
definitely
bro.
question if you're a Panther fan at all, if that's what it
Yeah.
is. And like I've always said, man, and I keep saying, I keep saying it. It all starts in the trenches. I don't care if you had Tom Brady, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, or whoever behind center last year for the Panthers. If you play center behind that offensive line last year, you would have got your ass killed. Point blank, period. It doesn't matter whether you 6'6", 250 or 5'10", 190, or whatever the case may be. You would have got killed behind that offensive line in the scheme that the Panthers put forward under Frank Wright. There's nothing there's nothing a quarterback could have done by himself. Football is the ultimate team sport. It always talk about 1 of 11. So it takes 11 people on each side of the ball to come together as one to get a job done, to accomplish a mission. There's not one quarterback that can come to a franchise and just turn a franchise around all by themselves. You look at the revolving door that we had a left guard and right guard. And like CJ mentioned earlier, the first thing that Dan Morgan did in free agency is went out and solidified the guard positions. Because we all know how terrible the guard positions was last year.
It was horrible.
We all know about football. The interior offensive line is the main part of the offensive line or any offensive line. If you want to have your quarterback step up in the pocket to complete throws or get time to throw, then you have to solidify the interior of the offensive line. The interior of our offensive line last year was garbage, juice, trash. Point blank, period, full stop.
So it was garbage juice, bro. That was well
Yeah.
spoken, CJ. Bro.
If I can add too, and I agree, and the scheme under Frank Wright was snap the ball and hope for the best. And that's just what the scheme was. He didn't have any scheme. Frank Wright came in here with an idea of one guy, he got another guy. And then the offensive coordinator had never been an offensive coordinator before. And all of a sudden, hey, I can do this, and he couldn't do this. So you can't. Some folks can't always blame it on the quarterback. They can't always blame it on. It's a combination of clusterfuck. Excuse my French, but that's exactly what it was. And I was a CJ guy, Stroud. On Friday Free For All, I went through war with G Baby and a bunch of others because I didn't want short and skinny. I did not want that guy. My man Diesel Skills wanted what's his name, D? Anthony Richardson, right? But when we drafted Bryce, I didn't know. Fact is, I didn't want to trade up at all, but we did. And I was like, okay, here we go. So I picked the guy I want. We took Bryce. Okay, all right, well, we'll see how it goes. And, I defend who the Panthers players are if I feel they're being mistreated or done wrong. And fans are just going after Bryce. And a lot of it, to me, is just because they didn't get who they wanted.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it boils down to.
Basically.
They didn't get who they wanted.
Shout out to the real HHENT, man, for the $5 super chat, man. He says, shout out to the channel, hashtag, he's representing the 919, man. Shout out to the real HHENT, man, always showing love. Look, man, we went through everybody, so this is round 2. Gonna come back around to my man, 2 growls, 1 roar.
All right. Hopefully my internet connection works.
No, you straight, bro.
What numbers do we have left? We'll go number 1.
2
or 2. We'll take 2.
Hold on, did somebody pick number 3 already?
I chose 3.
All right, let me get rid of that. All right, so 2, 5, 6, 7, 8,
we'll
10,
do 2.
11. Huh?
We'll go with number 2.
Number 2, man.
Oh,
we go. The Bryce Young read defenses.
Great question. After all that talk about Bryce Young, we're
going to listen. Some of these, so people know where some of these questions come from. It's from just picking up from different things that people have discussed on different podcasts. And
No, I love it.
I'm just asking these guys. I'm asking the professionals.
Twan, let's be real. Ray wrote you that question, didn't he?
No. No.
Oh man. Yes, Bryce Young can read defenses. No doubt in my mind about that. I mean, I know we just spent 10 minutes talking about Bryce Young, whatever the narrative is. I think you go back and look at the Heisman winning quarterback that came out of Alabama. And yes, this past year, we just spent time talking about what that was. But I have no doubt in my mind that he has the brains and the smarts to lead this team. Now, all that said, I know this was more of a question around reading the defense, and we just spent time talking about him. I think this is a prove it year. I do think he has to show significant progress this year. And a lot of that ties into just listen to Dave Canales talk. Dave Canales, when he was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, evaluated Bryce Young as a quarterback prospect, if you've heard that. Tampa Bay, there was no way that Tampa Bay was going to land him. But the NFL moves fast. You look at Zach Wilson, Kenny Pickett, Mac Jones, Justin Fields. I guarantee you, some people in those fan bases likely liked those quarterbacks, thought those quarterbacks were the future. And here we are 1, 2, 3 years out from those guys being drafted and they're moved off of. But yeah, going back to the original question, I do think he can read defenses, but I do think this is a year for him to take that next step.
Can I go ahead and say something about that?
Absolutely, man. Go ahead, speak.
So, first of all, if you were expecting a rookie quarterback to come into a whole nother level of football play and be able to read all the disguised defenses from all the different teams and be able to pick, be a fucking, excuse my language, and be a fucking
hey man, it's your show.
Off rip. You expecting this man to be Peyton Manning off rip to know every single coverage? No, especially when you got Frank Wright in your ear and Thomas Brown, and you got all these other guys in your ear telling you all kind of different things. There is no way that Bryce Young was able to pick up every single coverage because these guys are throwing all type of different looks at him throughout the year. This is his first time learning the NFL, by the way. So as he's going, he has to learn this. So could he read defenses? There were some coverages that he could read, and there were some that had absolutely threw him completely off. But that's not all on Bryce Young. That is coaching, and that is a lot of key factors that that took away his ability to be able to effectively read an entire defense in the NFL. But that question is a yes and a no. So yeah, man. I mean,
I like the way you flipped that though. I like the way you flipped it.
Back and forth with the play calling.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that for a minute. Let that sink in. Would you trust Frank Reich and Thomas Brown to be your coach if you're learning a brand new level of football?
No.
I think
I can answer that for you. No.
I think it's just take reps. Just to piggyback what he said, Peyton Manning he still got the record for most interceptions, I think, thrown by a rookie quarterback. And then Peyton Manning became a wizard. He became a genius. So it's just all about reps. It's all about time. Like I said, the interceptions that he threw last year is gonna be good for him as far as going back and reviewing tape. Like, of course, you're not gonna pick up everything on your rookie year. It doesn't really work like that. So, do I think Bryce Young can read it? Definitely. Like, I don't think they would, and I didn't see a guy who would be like, nah, like we can't take him number one. He has the ability. It's just all about just going out there and actually executing it. I think Bryce would be fine as regards to that.
Okay.
Hey, Twan, only thing I gotta say is, C Dog, I see what you're saying. And the only thing I'll say is I hold Bryce accountable when he mess ups as well, but we'll see. We'll see who gets the last laugh. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, is that
C Dog guys, bro?
Hey, C Dog in the chat talking about some rise up.
Nah, that ain't a good look. C Dog,
come on,
I'm gonna
man.
get your ass out of here.
Bryce performed like a rookie quarterback. He really did, with no coaching and no help. I mean, the coaches he had were arguing about who was in charge. And those of you need to understand, read your own sign. There used to be a thing way back in the day called "There's your sign." For folks, a lot of folks in the chat, there's your sign. You said they said this. Well, you're right. Scott Fitterer, who's no longer employed with the Panthers, said he could read everything and do everything and be everybody. He couldn't. Not last year with the leadership under Scott. Frank said the same thing. Frank's gone. After Frank said all this, slow your roll a little bit. The guys who lied to you are gone. Here's who we have. If you don't like him and you don't want to cheer for him, fine. At least hope the team does good.
I mean, hoping for Bryce's downfall is hoping that the team fails.
That's not a Panther fan. I'm sorry, I've said that before. I don't see how you could. I don't see how you could be a. Well, I'll just leave it at that.
Hey, I'm gonna help you out with that. So, since 2019, we have seen a different starting quarterback every single year. Are y'all not tired of that? Like, y'all not tired of that? We had to literally go into free agency and get these old quarterbacks and expect them to be something and try to revive their careers with Sam Darnold, Teddy Bridgewater. You know what I'm saying? All these guys that we brought in, we expected them to, you know what I'm saying, uplift our team, and we still going quarterback after quarterback. So we finally got a guy out of the draft that we can kind of develop for ourselves. And y'all already ready to throw this off after one bad year when we've seen historically in the NFL, quarterbacks come in and struggle their rookie year and be able to turn it around almost immediately. Look at Joe Burrow. Look at Matthew Stafford. Look at Jared Goff. Take a look at Trevor Lawrence. Take a look at these guys around the league, man. This has happened before. So giving up on this guy after the first year is absolutely crazy to me. And then, like y'all said, man, it seemed like it's a personal hate, which is crazy. I mean, I thought we were all tired of going quarterback after quarterback, but I guess, I don't know.
I crushed Bryce Young because of the first year. It's a new year now. It does nothing and does him nothing and does the team no good to wish for them their downfall. It's a new season, man. And therefore, you got to give him treat it like the plate is clean. He got another season to prove what he's got. And, bro, I want to eat crow. Bottom line. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the real HHENT again. He said the reason a lot dislike Bryce is most wanted CJ, and CJ performed too. What we gave up for him, 3. Bryce performance, first pick not making the team better.
Yeah, but that wasn't Bryce's fault. It wasn't CJ's fault. And I hand it to whoever spread the garbage about the S2 test being great. Congrats, dude. You got your way. That's exactly what happened there.
Does anybody know what the S2 test is? Speaking of the S2 test.
It's done in Nashville, Tennessee.
That's a test for
something that has nothing to do with playing football.
Right.
That's a test for MLB pitchers. Help me out, 2 Growls, 1 Roy. That's a test for MLB pitchers. Why are quarterbacks in the NFL taking that test? You know? Oh, man, look, up next, CJ, man. It's back on you, man.
All right, let me anybody pick 16?
Nah, not at all. But you did. Let's go, man. Which one game on the no, we already did that, didn't we?
Okay. I think we already did that.
Yeah.
Let me do 17 then.
17. We already did it.
14.
We got 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 15, 19.
15.
15. We took Leggett, or however you pronounce his name, as our first pick. Was that the correct pick, or who would you have taken instead?
I believe Leggett. I believe he was the right pick. I mean, you look at his skill set. He can stretch defense. He can get the ball down the field. He ran a 4.3 40, which, I didn't, going into the combine, I didn't think his 40 time was that fast. But, a lot of people say game speed versus the 40 time. And in the game, you can see it. He takes off. He is gone. Big body receiver, has great hands. He can go up and get the ball. If you look at the game they played versus UNC last year, which is my favorite school, look at some of those catches that he made downfield. Balls coming down. He has a good ability to jump and and high point the ball and catch it in the right spot. And I do believe, like he said he was not asked to run, certain routes in college, but he's come out and said, I can run the whole route tree. And if you look at what he came out, the video he had the day after the draft, I do believe it was, he was already out there working. So I just believe it's all about polishing, polishing his route tree a little bit, since he wasn't asked to run those routes in college, and he's going to be running those routes in the NFL. But yeah, I just think it's polishing his game. He has the hands, he has the speed, he has the size. So, I definitely think it was the right pick.
Okay.
Yeah, if I can rebuttal a little bit or disagree, I agree with that a lot. The one thing that I like so much about Liggett is after the draft, when they asked him about what he was doing now, he was running the routes that he had heard the media say he sucked at. He was learning to run them. That shows me that he's willing to learn at the drop of a hat. If he even if he expects that somebody says he's bad at something, he's going to work on that. So I know he's going to work. Unlike some who just wants to go party as soon as they get drafted. But that's what I liked a lot about it.
Okay. Anybody else?
For me, I don't think it was the right pick. It's still a good pick. It wouldn't have been my choice. My choice was my top 3 wide receivers coming out were Keon Coleman, Lad McConkey, and Ricky Pearsall. And for the mere fact that they had the best hands of all of the receivers that would have been available to us at pick 33. That's not including Malik Neighbors and MHJ and those guys. But for the second round of pick 33, me personally, I like Keon Coleman better than Xavier Legette, because when I look at the production not only that he had last year at Florida State, but the production he also had at Michigan State. You're talking about a former basketball player as well, someone that knows how to use his size, go up and contest, get contested catches, which in the NFL, a lot of the catches are contested catches, whether you are a great route runner or not. Those windows in the NFL is a lot smaller than they are in college. I just want to see somebody that can just go up, that's willing to go across the middle, that can create separation, and that can naturally, snatch the ball out the air. So yeah, Keon Coleman would have been my choice.
Keon Coleman was definitely my choice. But that's just because, man, I went to Florida State fan, all the whole bit. And so yeah, mine was totally biased. But
I understand that. Last year I won Jalen Hyatt drafted first overall. So
yeah, but when we got Leggett, I was happy. I was not mad at all.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So here we go. Diesel Skills is up.
Let's go lucky number 7, Mr. Twan.
Lucky number 7. Let's get it. Before we start, man, shout out to Navash with the $5 super chat. He said if Bryce Young is good next year, we all deserve to celebrate it if it happens. If he's bad, we should be able to be critical of him as well. End of story. That's fair. That's fair, man. Shout out to Navash, man. That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Do you truly believe Dave Canales is a long-term solution for the Carolina Panthers? Do you truly believe Dave Canales is a long-term solution for the Carolina Panthers?
Well, they signed him to a long-term contract. That's one thing right there. Now, we know that Dave Tepper doesn't mind letting a coach go and paying him the bag. That's not a problem for Dave. Dave is one of the top 100 richest people on the planet. So if Dave says something, or Dave Canales says something that Tepper doesn't like, I'm sure he'll let him go. Because he don't roll like that. Dave Tepper's takes a lot of stuff real personal, whether it's in business or in football, apparently, because he'll throw a drink on you if you don't like what you say. So, But as far as him being a long-term solution, we look at the way the Panthers have kind of set up this season. We cut Bradley Bozeman, ate that $10 million cap hit. We cut Von Bell, still don't know why. Replaced Von Bell with Fuller, who was a 6th-round draft pick, and that was also a $10 million cap hit. Then we cut Hayden Hurst, probably because of medical reasons, but they didn't deem it as such, and we still took another cap hit on that. That tells me that this is a staff that's not setting up for the 2024 season. Instead, when we already had low cap going into the season, we're setting up for next year is what we're doing. So is he a long-term solution? Well, the next 2 years, the way things have been going here, Frank Reich only got 11 games. I would say yes, Dave Canales is a long-term solution just from what we've seen from this coaching staff. Once again, let's go back and let's look at the draft picks that we made this year. We drafted Brooks off an ACL injury. He may not be a great big impact in the beginning of this season. That's more of a 2025 draft pick if you look at it. Trayvon Wallace in the 3rd round. We drafted him at linebacker. He's probably Shaq Thompson's replacement, or at least hopefully that's what we're hoping is going to happen with him. I don't see him playing over Josie Jewell or Shaq Thompson this season in case we have some type of injury. Then let's move on down the line. We Smith Wade, we drafted him. Is he going to take? He's probably going to be a big nickel. Is he going to play over Troy Hill this year? Probably not. But in the future, he will. He'll replace Troy Hill. So the entire draft was kind of set up for the future. And that's the way Dan Morgan did it. And a lot of fans are happy about that. And we should celebrate that because we're finally building towards the future. This is an actual rebuild, Twan. It's not putting a Band-Aid over a big fracture in the dam where water's gushing through. That's what we've been doing. But now we're actually setting up for the future. We're making moves that make sense for the Panthers. We're looking at who's going to be leaving going on down the road. We went ahead and ate the dead cap this year and moving on. And then that way next year we'll get a clean slate. So, yes, I do believe Dave Canales is here for the future, Twan.
Bruh. Ooh. Anybody want to go after that heat?
Yeah, I think he hit the nail on the head. I've definitely been an advocate of not
Can you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Not changing out coaches year after year. That's not how you sustain success. You don't sustain success changing out quarterbacks every year. And I think that's kind of why we're here where we're at now. I felt like in 2020 when we had, we cleaned house, we brought everybody in. Those were supposed to be, more so a quarterback was supposed to be the bridge. Then, of course, we hired Rule. That didn't work out. You got to give Dave at least 3 years. That's always my stance for any coach. You got to give a coach at least 3 years, realistically, in the NFL. This, firing, you're just going to continue to push yourself back. And that's one of the reasons. That's the number one reason why I don't like David Tepper. He has no patience as regards to that. You're not giving a coach time to establish anything. So honestly, even when we was on the hire, I didn't care who we got. Are we going to keep him for at least 3 years? So do I think he's a long term? I would like him to be. It all comes down to Tepper, and I have to see first before I say he is the long term, but I would like him to be. But I don't want to get into another situation where we get to the end of the year, we didn't like what we liked, and we let him go. No, we can't. We can't continue to do that. We got to keep this guy for at least 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Very
Twan.
nice. Go for it.
Hey, Twan. Hey, I gotta hop off, man. I appreciate the invite, man. I definitely appreciate everybody on the panel, man. Like Twan said, if you guys are not subscribed to all these great minds on here, you're missing out. I appreciate the invite. I definitely love to collab with some of these people that I have not collabed with on my channel. And again, I appreciate you and Claire inviting me to do this sophomore panel with you guys, man.
Hey guys, with all due respect, like I knew C. Dougie was only gonna be able to stay for a little while, so yeah, he's on the road. So I told him, man, you know what I'm saying, the time that we could have him would be great, man. So we appreciate that, C. Doug.
Yes, sir, man. Everybody be easy. Everybody stay safe. Everybody stay blessed and keep pounding.
All right, man. Thanks.
All right, Doug.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Quan, you up next, man.
All right, what numbers we got?
18, 14, 12, 8, 6, and 5.
Give me 14.
14 is, how did you feel about us drafting a running back, Jonathan Brooks, coming off an injury?
Personally, man, I was very surprised that we took a running back that high to begin with. Was I mad at it? Absolutely not, man, because Jonathan Brooks was very high on my draft board. Obviously, the first running back that was coming off the board this year. I mean, he brings something to the table that we definitely need here in the Carolinas. We talk about having a power back, somebody being able to push the power and, saying do it all, a true third down back. This is your guy right here. Yes, he is coming off an injury, but that injury does not concern me at all. I mean, I think, correct me if I'm wrong.
It don't concern you at all?
No, not at all. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it was Jahmyr Gibbs that came off of an ACL injury last year. If I could be wrong, it was one of those running backs that came out that had an injury, but that's fine.
No, it wasn't Jahmyr Gibbs.
Right, you know what I mean? Let's slow your roll. We got plenty of running backs in this room to where he doesn't have to be a contributor right away. So let him slowly, heal, and let's use these other running backs while he's slowly put into the rotation. So I'm not mad at it at this pick at all. I actually love this pick.
I hated it.
Yeah, I'm not. I didn't
Trey
mind it.
Benson was right there.
Yeah, I didn't mind it at all because we had done it before. We drafted Jonathan Stewart when he was coming off an injury. He showed up for the first day of off-season workouts on crutches. I mean, it wasn't, and he turned out pretty good. So,
Yeah, he was
fact is, if I remember correctly, and I may be wrong because I'm sure somebody in the chat will correct me if I ain't, but he didn't practice one time his rookie season and played in all games. Didn't practice one time.
I was hoping for the best cornerback.
Quan, does this make sense? I hated it because, again, bias, Trey Benson. But I didn't hate it because he dope. He's dope. You know what I'm saying? Getting an open field. I liked everything. I liked a lot of things. The traits about him just scratched my head because I was so happy. And then somebody was like, yeah, man, he coming off an injury. And I was like, why did we do that?
Yeah. If he wasn't injured, he would have been the first running back taken off the board.
Right.
Yeah.
And he still was, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was the first.
He still was.
He was.
He just would have been higher. Like I'm with Twan. I feel you because of course, me and you, we both Florida State fans. So
exactly.
Of course, I wanted to see Keon with us. Not mad at Leggett, but I would have liked to see Trey with us too if we was gonna go running back. But I like Jonathan Brooks' tape, man. I like his tape.
Nice.
So I don't think we'll take a. I don't think this would be an L for us long term.
I'm with y'all.
Go ahead, Tony.
With Mike and Twandon, I'm with you guys. I wanted Trey Benson as well. Talking about a bigger back, faster. Trey Benson ran like a 4.39 at the combine. Again, he had production not only at Florida State, but he also had production at Oregon as well. Yep. So, that's one thing that when I look at some of these prospects coming out in the draft, especially when you're talking about in the first, 2 or 3 rounds, I want to see more production than just 1 year. And I know someone in the comments mentioned that I haven't seen Xavier Leggett tape. Well, I have. On our channel, we've studied Xavier Leggett. My thing with that was he only had production for 1 year out of 5. Played 5 years at South Carolina. 2 years he had Spencer Rattler as his quarterback. If you look at what he did in 2022 and then what he did in 2023 with the same quarterback, I kind of question that. So when I compared him to Keon Coleman had better production the past 2 years coming into the league. So that's why I like the Keon Coleman. But drafting a running back that just came off an ACL injury that happened in November. So it happened at the latter part of the season, not the early part. So taking him that high, and I know a lot of people were saying, well, Dallas wanted him, and I'm glad we took him, instead of letting Dallas get him. I don't think it was a competition in the mind of the GMs. Well, let's take him before Dallas get him. Yes, he had some good tape at Texas, but we also have to be mindful too. He didn't play a full year at Texas, and the year before last, he played behind Bijan Robinson and Rashawn Johnson. So, how much tape was it really to show us what Jonathan Brooks can do.
You heard Tony. He said it.
Yeah, and I stand
I
on
did
it.
not understand that pick, man.
The one thing about Brooks that I do like, I like the fact that he can break tackles and he can move. He's the complete back to me. A lot of the other running backs in the draft were not complete backs. They had speed, they had agility, but but they were like the Christian McCaffrey. Run them up the middle, unless your offensive line is doing a lot of blocking, your ass ain't going up that middle. So that's what a lot of them running backs in this draft was, because if they couldn't knock a couple tackles down and go all the way. They couldn't do it. And that's most of these running backs in this draft like that. Plus, I do believe Jonathan Brooks is going to be the only guy on our 53-man the only running back on our roster after this season. Because I believe
Only thing I would say to you about that pickle is watch Trey Benson highlights. When you talk about great contact balance, someone that can run up the middle,
I think I already showed him.
Go wide, got great hands, and that can run away from the defense.
Yeah, Trey got
Just
that.
go back and watch a little bit of Trey Benson. I think you'll change your mind on that one.
Your problem.
Hey, I'm pro.
Yeah.
I'm pro running back by committee.
Me
I
too.
definitely started screaming that when we let go of Christian McCaffrey a little bit earlier before that. But I'm not really off the. I'm not off the Chubb Hubbard train. Like I think it's something that
Super is putting in work.
I think that's somebody we should keep long term in pairing with Jonathan if Jonathan gets healthy. I'm off Miles Sanders, so I'm more so looking at a tandem of Brooks and Chubb Hubbard. I think Chubb Hubbard has really proved himself. He's worthy of staying with us. And like I said, pro running back by committee. I'm not the guy who wants to see my running back get 25, 35 carries a game. Let's split these carries up. Let's get some different looks for these. Have these defenses prep for more than one guy. I would like to have 3 of them back there if we can. If we can't keep them on, just get them, because running backs, it's good to keep a fresh running back in the lineup. So
Absolutely.
I would love to keep Chubb Hubbard, and if Jonathan ever gets healthy and he displays what he displayed at Texas, I'm looking at a combination of Chubb and Jonathan.
But guys, haven't we seen that before? Every year that Carolina has been great, we've had what? We had a 2 running back system.
True.
Or 3.
True.
Yeah.
That was our DNA, bro. I don't know why they ever got away from that.
Hey,
Look,
I think it was a lot of us. I think a lot of it had to do with Christian, and I love Christian. I love what he's doing with San Francisco. I honestly wanted to keep him, but I wasn't mad if we got rid of him because, of course. But the last year we traded him, he had been playing all those games. But I think we got so comfortable with Christian, and even then I was saying, man, I don't want to see Christian get all these touches a game. Like, keep him fresh. You understand why we paying him, but I understand it. But I think that was a part of it too. When we got Christian, it became, okay, yeah, this is his team now, especially when Cam got out of there and Rivera got out of there. But I think that was a part of it.
Ran him into the dirt. Hey, shout out to King Jermaine JP Shepard, man. Hey, one of the greatest fans over the 704 Charlotte Bound Show. He said, wait a minute. He said, let's stop comparing Bryce to quarterbacks like Manning. They are nowhere near the same quarterback from a physical platform standpoint. Bryce is truly an anomaly, first of his kind. Shout out to King.
That part's not true.
Right.
Same height as Kyler Murray, and 1 inch shorter than Russell Wilson. So he's not the first of his kind.
Okay. I mean, those guys were short.
That's true.
Those guys were short. Who's it on? Mike Lowry. Oh, Mike Lowry. Got a new movie coming out.
What numbers we got left?
Oh, okay. So we got 5, 6, 10, 11, 12, and 18.
Let's go 18.
18. Do you strongly believe Bryce Young is the future for the Panthers now that he has more weapons?
Yeah, I felt like that the moment we drafted him. That's why you trade up. That's why you trade away your number 1 receiver, your future first round pick in 2024. And I think a second round pick in 2025. I think he has all the tools. I don't have no question marks for real about Bryce. It's just about, is he going to learn from his mistakes at this point? He showed in certain games last year, Green Bay Falcons game, in that storm and the conditions, he made some great throws in that game. made some great throws in that game. The first game out the gate, he had those throws like, okay, I could clearly see that was rookie, throwing the back-to-back interceptions to Jesse Bates when it looked like it was the same thing. Disguise coverage is tricking him. But I don't have no question marks for Bryce, man. I can tell it's a guy that when he talks, it doesn't seem nothing that's forced as far as his want to be great. It looked like he has it in his DNA. And I think a lot of that has to do with how his upbringing. Of course, he was always rated at each level high for a reason. Like he has it in him. He has that it factor. So I don't have no concerns about Bryce being our guy long term. Of course, you want your quarterback to have. I'm not the guy who oh well, he had this. I don't care if he had '07 Randy Moss, '05 To, whatever the case may be. Like I want my quarterback to have the best of the best as well. You see what I'm saying? So I don't use it as a knock. You want him to have the weapon. So as long as these guys continue to grow, because I almost want to throw away Mingo. I almost wanted to throw him away because that guy last year was killing me with his route running. But I think with the addition of Leggett, of course, you still got Adam. Like I said, as long as Bryce continues to stay in the film room and translate it to the field, he'll be fine.
Absolutely. I'm gonna rapid fire just a little bit, and we're gonna go on to Tony and let him pick.
What we got? What we got left on?
5, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 19.
Let me go 19.
Can't let you go 19. That's a special question. We'll do that one last.
All right, well, give me 5 then. Give me 5.
Yeah, hey, 19 is a doozy. What player do you feel could be a surprise trade or cut? We already did that. No, we didn't.
Yeah, we already did that.
Yeah, we already did that one.
Give me 6. Give me 6.
6. All right, man. What player did the Panthers pick in the draft that you were not pleased with? Not any free agents in the draft.
Oh man, in the draft that we're not pleased with.
And guys, don't pay attention to the chat, man. Say exactly what's on your mind, bro.
I would have to say that Jonathan Brooks pick because I didn't expect it. Like I said, I feel like center was definitely a pressing need for us more than running back. Again, I believe in showing up that the trenches, that offensive line need work. No, we brought in those 2 guards, but we still need to take care of that center position. And then we took a running back, like we just stated, coming off a torn ACL, is that's more than likely not going to be available to you the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season. I don't really see Jonathan Brooks getting into the rotation until probably after the bye. And the reason why I say that is because if this guy is your future RB1 and he's come off an ACL injury and you just made that investment to trade back up into the second round and select him, then there's no need to rush him. You want to protect your investment. You want to protect what you deem to be your future running back 1. But yeah, so that would be the pick that I didn't like the most. I didn't like that pick. I think there was a whole lot of other needs that we needed than a running back coming off an ACL injury.
I'm gonna go to Tony next on this. Hey Tony, let you follow up.
This is Tony.
Not Tony. I'm at CJ because I saw CJ shaking his head in the background. Hey, look, man. Let me say, man, that T-shirt CJ got on is fire. Keep pounding, man. I love it.
But yeah, no, I gotta agree with Tony on this one because I don't have a problem with Brooks. I just thought that me personally, it would have been better for them to have taken probably either the best center that was available then or the best cornerback. Okay, because let's not forget our whole hopes in our secondary is riding on whether or not J.C. Horn can stay healthy for the full season. Okay, and I know Evero is good at doing good with what he has as far as the players, as he showed, last year. But at this point, Horn is injury prone. We got to go ahead and keep it a buck and say what it is. So I thought it should have been center or cornerback.
Yeah, I think we really missed out on that center, bro.
I agree. I would have took a center myself.
Yeah.
Hey,
Pickle, go ahead, make a pick, Pickle.
12. Number 12. Number 12.
Ooh. All right, man. Look, should Bryce Young play the entire season if he's not showing improvement?
Oh, I like this question. Absolutely. I like this question. My personal opinion is not the whole season, but I also want to throw out, why do you think that David Canales wants to bring in a veteran third string quarterback? I don't think it's to develop a veteran third string quarterback. I believe if Bryce struggles mightily, and I want to use the term mightily, if he struggles mightily, Dave Canales wants two options to go to, not just one. That's my opinion. So I hope it don't happen. I really don't think it will. But if Bryce Young struggles mightily this year, Dave Canales wants two veteran quarterbacks to go to.
Shout out to Cool Cav, just became a member of the 704 Charlotte Bound Show, man. Shout out to Cool Cav, man. Really appreciate you signing up for the channel, man. Shout out to you, brother. Anybody else want to talk about that question?
I mean,
you know what? So I'm gonna pick somebody. I'm picking Quan, bro.
Perfect, man. Hey, look, if Bryce Young, let's say he stinks it up, you got the offensive line, you got the receivers. So at this point, there's nothing that's standing in your way. Last year, of course, you get a pass because you had a horrible system all around. But this year, they actually put the pieces in place. We got the offensive line, spent the big bucks there to fix that interior. Then you bring in some receiving help. You bring in a tight end, bring in a couple receivers. You got a running back, a dynamic running back that can also catch out of the backfield. Something that Bryce Young did really well at Alabama was utilize his running back out of the backfield as far as the pass game goes. So with all this in Bryce Young's hands, and you got Dave Canales, who I believe is the next young offensive guru who's going to be running this league for years to come. If you got all this in your hands, yes, I believe you're gonna have to go ahead and bench Bryce, man. Depending on how bad he struggles, you got to bench him. I mean, let's say if it's week.
Wow.
Let's say it's week 14 and Bryce Young every single game is only averaging, let's say he barely eclipsing 200 yards. Bench him. What at this point you haven't shown me any improvement. So what am I going to still hold on to you for? At this point, Dave Canales has no ties to these players. So at that point, they're just going to start focusing on getting another quarterback. So yeah, if he stinks it up, you got to bench him and go ahead and get ready to move on.
Man, that was. Hey, look, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, bro. Hey, look, bro. Quan got love for Bryce Young, so that's real for him to say that, bro. That's real for him to say that.
Yeah, I'm not one of these
that's an honest answer right
fans,
there.
man.
That's
I like
an
to
honest
evaluate
answer.
the whole thing, man.
That's an honest answer, man. I respect that. Let me see. Somebody pick a number, man.
You said he don't get a pass, C-Dog or C-Dog. Like, this is not up to us. We're fans. We're not the coaches.
Man, C-Dog is trying to get some attention, yo.
Personnel. It don't matter what you think. He's getting the pass for these coaches. He's going to be the starter for next year, whether you like it or not.
Exactly.
Yep.
JP Shepard, man, shout out for JP Shepard with the $5 super chat. He said, "No, Tony. Bryce doesn't have Kyler nor Russell's Wilson's mobility or arm coming out of college. Only thing they have in common is shortness."
Well, we can agree to disagree.
Yeah, it's just two different opinions, man.
You know what though? Through all the hell Bryce Young went through last year, he didn't slump down on the bench and crawl under the bench like Kyler Murray did because he didn't get his fucking way. Kyler Murray needs to grow up before you call him a real NFL quarterback.
C-Dog, you wild.
I'm not a fan of Kyler Murray, so.
C-Dog, you wild for that comment, bro. You really in here kissing the Falcons' ass, bro.
C-Dog got a lot of build up. Hey, brother, we pray for you. You must have mental problems, brother. We pray for you.
You in here rooting
Yeah,
for
Nothing
the
but love
Falcons.
to you, brother.
therapy,
Nothing
man.
but love for you. Yeah. Now, Red Swarm, you know, he ain't normal anyway. God bless his heart. He a Falcon fan, so you got to overlook
Hey,
them
Swan's
boys.
sticking up for
They
his
naturally
team, man.
tough.
I understand that. But come on, man. He rooting C-Dog on. Nah. Yeah, you wild for that, bro. Hey, hold on. So what number was that? 6? All right, let me get rid of that one.
Yeah,
All right.
I picked number 6. I picked number 6. Yeah.
It's only 3 left. Let's go with this one right here, man. And anybody can step in on these questions. Yeah, we already did that one.
We did that one too.
All right, here we go. What award could the Panthers receive at the NFL? Trying to make them a hockey team at the NFL honors. Which player or coach? If there's an award that could be won by the Panthers or a player on the team, which award could somebody possibly win at the NHL honors?
Mm-hmm. Maybe JC for comeback player of the year.
JC Horn, yeah,
maybe
that's one.
I was going to say Austin Corbett, same comeback player of the year for Austin Corbett if he had a good year at center after that ACL and MCL injury.
That's another one.
Yeah, fact. Yeah, fact.
That's a good one too.
Facts.
Yeah, I only see comeback player award. Maybe I don't see nothing offensive player, rookie of the year. Yeah,
That's usually when that happens.
I think comeback player of the year probably Austin and maybe JC.
All right.
I say man of the year, maybe. Depending on, it might be somebody from defense. Let's say Derek Brown. Let's say he go out in the community. You know what I'm saying? He makes some noise on the field, of course, too. He probably could win man of the year. I don't know. I'm just throwing something out there, man.
Yeah, he doing some off-field stuff. That is very possible.
Yeah.
I thought you was about to say DPOY.
Hey
thought
man,
you was going to say DPOY. Yeah,
hey look, I got Ian Thomas for best comeback player of the year.
Shit.
Stop it.
Don't do that.
Stop
Don't do
it.
that, Twan. Don't do that.
hey, Twan, I want to shout you out, brother. Ian Thomas is going to be the best player the UFL has ever had.
He going to the Renegades.
Because the UFL needs a couple good tight ends, man.
Bro, look.
Now, unfortunately, the weight Thomas has put on, he might have to play fullback or maybe even center.
Oh man,
I mean, everybody else can play center. Why not Ian Thomas?
Why am I dying on that Ian Thomas hill, bro?
Man, I don't know, man.
Just
you suicidal, dog. You suicidal.
It ain't a hill no more, Twan. It's flat.
Yeah.
That shit flat,
yeah, it's a bump in the road. It ain't even a bump. Yeah,
I-85 flat.
I'm out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here on some brick. Here's the last question, man. Today, man. The next to the last. Julius Peppers is going into the Hall of Fame. What Panther deserves to go into the Hall of Fame immediately after him when his time comes?
Steve Smith Sr.
Steve Smith.
Yeah,
Steve
Smith.
Steve
And
Smith.
then Luke.
Yeah, that's unanimous right there.
That's unanimous?
It's Steve and Luke. It's one of the
Steve
two.
Smith.
Facts.
What about after Steve?
It'd be Luke.
Luke.
Luke, yep.
Luke.
And I think he got one more year before he's eligible.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we got some more people in that.
If Patrick Willis can do it at San Francisco and they play the same amount of years, they both would probably arguably the best two middle linebackers. When they were in the league.
Period.
Yeah. So Patrick Willis can go into the Hall of Fame. Then Luke Kuechly can go in there to the Hall of Fame as well.
No, we got some, look, we got some people from the history though, man. I don't know, man. Beeson? I don't know. We got some.
Beeson. Now listen, listen, Twan.
We got some nice people that played with the team.
John
bro.
Beeson was good, but John Beeson is not Hall of Fame material.
Not Hall of
I
Fame,
love
yeah.
John Beeson. Don't get me wrong, but he's not Hall of Fame material. He's just not.
Twan, stop it. Stop. Just stop.
Yeah,
He might be Panthers Hall of Fame, but he ain't
Honestly,
NFL Hall of
we
Fame.
only got 3 Hall of Famers.
I'm lying. Look, man. Moosin should go in, bro. I'm standing on that hill.
He ain't getting in.
Nah,
I'm standing on that.
He getting in.
Okay, but I see some players way
Maybe
less.
Hall of Honor.
I see some guys that Muhammad is better than going to the Hall of Fame, bro.
At wide receiver? You haven't seen that.
Yeah, Twan, you ain't.
You haven't seen that. And it's hard for wide receivers to get in. So you haven't
Come on, Twan. You should thought about that. You should thought about that question before you gave an answer.
I don't know. Yeah. Hey, man, maybe somebody from the 1950s or something that went in that don't need to be in there. No, I can't. Yeah, man. Moose, you might be hurting, man.
No, but it would be Steve first. It would be Steve and then Luke.
Hey, man,
I agree.
Hey, look, man, look, we come to the last question. Watch this, man. This one is for y'all and for the fans because nobody's ever really addressed it on the show or something like that. But we're going to have some fun with it. I ain't even going to say it out of my mouth. Just going to throw it up there.
This should also be unanimous. K-Dot all day, man. K-Dot.
Hey, look, man, I put that question up there because I knew my audience, bro. I knew Pickle was probably gonna be like, "Who the fuck are these people, man?" I knew the audience. I knew the audience.
I ended the whole damn thing.
Yeah, I knew Quan was on here.
All I know about them two is what people say on Twitter, and you know that shit wrong. So
I knew Quan was on here. I knew Mike Lowry was on here, bro. And Doug and them.
Yeah.
Who won the battle, man?
Hey, Twan, I ain't gonna lie.
And I gotta
Go ahead,
say, Kendrick got the dub, man.
I'm gonna start with 2 grounds, 1 Roy. Go ahead, man. Who you got?
Kendrick, man.
K-Dot.
All day, Kendrick.
Yep. CJ.
Hey, I'm gonna go with Kendrick, but I ain't gonna lie though. I just heard that damn BBL Drizzy song last night, and I swear I've been singing that crap all day.
I think the catchiest song was that "They Not Like Us." They not like us. I want to be able to sing that song one day, though, bro. As far
they
as the
rocking that in the clubs in Durban, South Africa, dog. Then Durban, South Africa, they are rocking that song. It was on somebody posted on Twitter last week. I was like, wow. They in the clubs in Africa.
Man, that's crazy. When disc records can reach that far and make you party like that, that is insane, bro. Hey, look, man, check this out, bro. It's been an incredible show. Incredible panel. But we come to the end, though, man. And I want y'all out there, man, in that TV land and chat land or whatever. But however you felt about what these guys said, man, y'all go ahead and give it up to these guys right the hell now, man. Show your love for these guys, man. 2 Girls, 1 Royce, TJ Diesel, Sears, Old Mike Lowry, my man Tony, my man Steve Dougie, Candace Pickle, and Uncle Quan, man. Y'all give it up to them guys right now. And you crazy. You crazy if I'm going to let them get up out of here. We're not telling you where they can find these guys, man. And look, man, who wants to go first? I'll let it be on you.
I'll go ahead and knock it out. You can find me on Instagram at Old Mike Lowry. You can find our podcast, We're Just Messages Podcast, on YouTube. We're Just Messages on Instagram. WJTM Pod on Twitter. Old Mike Lowry on Twitter. And yeah, shout out to my boy Mo, my brother, my co-host of We're Just Messages Podcast. Yeah, subscribe to us on YouTube, man. Check us out. We cover everything as far as current events, music, and sports, and of course, you know, when the Panthers either making me proud or making me mad, I'm on there giving it up. So yeah, I got a full pot of things that we talk about on there, but those are the main things.
Exactly, man. So listen, if you're looking for a great podcast to watch, they discuss a lot on there, man. But Mike is a Panthers fan, and he discussed them at times, man. Hold on, wrong podcast. It just looks the same. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you reach out to Mike and them, man. We're just the messengers podcast. Go and sign up for them guys right now, man. Right now, man. Up next, man, I'm gonna go ahead and choose Panther Pickle.
Yes, sir. You can follow me at Panther Pickle on Twitter or X, and right now we do spaces on at Monday and Thursday at 6:30. Me and Diesel Skills and the whole crew of us. Right now we're just doing that, but we a lot of times we'll hit a space up every day. At various what's going on. And we just talk till we get done talking. We hit a bunch of topics. Uh, Generally on my spacious show, there's no screaming and yelling and cursing and all that like there is on Friday. So, but everybody's welcome.
Absolutely,
Even
man. Look,
opposing fans.
I hop in there too, man. Great discussions. Pickle like you never seen him because he don't be yelling in there at all. His blood pressure is down. You know what I'm saying? Different environment on Friday Freefall. So you gonna get
on
something
spaces. I got to mute everybody button.
Yeah, there you go. That's lovely too. And that's a lovely button to have, man. So you can check Pickle and Diesel Skills out. Diesel will be coming up in a moment for at C3 Legend Spaces, man. You know what I'm saying? Go check them out. Sign up to them today, man. Stop cheating yourself, bro. Quan, you up next, bro.
Yes, sir. You can find me on YouTube and I guess X. I don't really like calling it X. You can find me on Twitter and YouTube at The Panthers Experience. Uncle Quan, man. If you guys subscribe to the channel on YouTube, you can get a chance. We're doing a giveaway very soon. We're about to hit 2,000 subscribers. So if y'all want a chance to enter our latest giveaway coming up, man, we're about to give away 3 copies of College Football 2025. So if you want your ass kicked, make sure you pull up to the channel. Make sure you subscribe. We're going to give away 3 copies. You got to subscribe to myself and, of course, my guy, What's Up, Doug, who just hopped off the panel earlier, man. So subscribe to our channels, pull up to the live trivia, man. Get a chance to win 1 of 3 copies of College Football 25, man. So it's up.
Make sure you go over there and sign up to them guys, man. That man about to hit 2K. That's major. He about to hit 2K, man. Hey, look, I'm going to tell you right now, one of the things that Quan might have left out, bro. Listen, bro, let me tell you how I found Quan, bro. That man went to what was it, summer camp last year?
Yeah.
And he had the greatest close-ups. He had better practice close-ups and showed like I didn't have to go to that shit because Quan was there. You know what I'm saying? He was close, great camera down there, close to the field. I mean, bro, and he was narrating play by play, bro. Be on the lookout for that man, bro. When they get ready to start back practicing and coming back, man, and before the drafts and all that, man, if he goes out there, I'm telling you, bro, he has great coverage. He has great coverage. Yeah, man. Absolutely. Up next, man, look, bro, newer guy on the scene that I'm getting to know, man, and trust me, man, we're gonna have to sit down and do a one-on-one one day, man. New to me, but I seen his stuff. He didn't know I was watching, man. 2 growls, 1 roar in the building. Tell them where they can find you, bro.
Thanks, man. All over YouTube, 2 growls, 1 roar, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and wherever you get your podcast available out there. So yeah, I appreciate the support. Thanks for having me on, man.
Man, read your credentials again to them damn haters out there too.
I will do it, but I will say,
tell them what you do, man.
I do work with ESPN Wilmington, so I live in Wilmington, North Carolina.
There you go, man.
So
Shout out to Wilmington.
Got a good connection here, and call into ESPN Wilmington to talk Carolina Panthers, which is fun. So appreciate you having me on and everyone else on here.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Y'all could check that man out at 2 growls, 1 roar. You know what I'm saying? Get to know this guy, man. And then go check him out. Don't listen to no silly ass person in the chat and make your own decision. I'm telling you, he's dope, man. He's dope. CJ.
Yo. All right. You can find us on all social media at 2 Fans in the Stands. And what we like to call Twix. That's a mixture of Twitter and X, so everybody don't like to pick one. You can find us at 2 Fans ITS. and we appreciate the love and support. And CD, shout out to Port City, man. I'm from a little town called Bolivia, about 20 minutes south of Wilmington. So shout out to you down in the 910.
That's it. Actually,
let me ask
live
y'all
in
a
Leland,
question, bro. Let me ask y'all a question.
Port City is my home. I am born in Wilmington.
Let me ask y'all a damn question, bro, because I got on my good glasses today. That's really you, and that's really y'all in the
That's
silhouette,
me and
ain't
Tony.
it?
That's me and
I
Tony.
bet you nobody ever figured that out.
No, I did not know that, man.
Hey, hold on,
Juan.
that's
awesome.
Juan, that's me and Tony.
That's original. That's original right
me
there.
and Tony.
Nice.
Hey,
That's
and
dope,
that
I
picture
didn't
was
know that.
taken at Fan Fest, and my daughter is in
That's
the middle of it
crazy.
at the point of the shield.
Yeah.
Hey, look, Tony's baby fro gave it away though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Twan, it's packed down right now. It's out there. It's packed
that's
down.
dope, man.
Yeah.
He got
Tony,
the
it's
soul
on you,
glow on it
Tony.
right now.
It's on you, Tony.
Nah, hey, CJ just covered it, man. Hey, Two
Okay.
Fans in the Stands on all social media platforms, on Twix, Two Fans ITS. Hey, listen, we are definitely true Panther fans. We from Wilmington, CJ from Bolivia, Brunswick County, New Hanover County, stand up. And listen, man, hey, that's what it is. I'm gonna be a Panther fan no matter what player come and go. I'm always root for the Panthers.
Yes,
Players
sir.
come and go, Panther Nation gonna always stand up.
Show them that T-shirt, CJ. Show it again, man. Keep pounding, man. There you
Yeah.
go, bro.
That's hard.
Hey, look, man. If you never heard this dude right here close the show, you are in for a treat. I'm gonna put his ass to the test and see if he can do it over here. These ill skills. Could you wrap the show up? The brand ambassador over there at C3. Could you wrap the show up like only you can wrap a show up?
I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it quick because my headphones are pretty low power, Twan.
Let's get
I'm
it.
gonna say thank you so much, and shout out to the 704 Charlotte Bound Show for having all these wonderful people on the panel. Enjoyed in talking with each and every one of you. It's fantastic to hear takes from different people and different opinions, and that's the reason why me and Panther Pickle established the C3 Legion Spaces. It was to give the fans a voice and an opportunity to come in and talk. Sometimes the Friday Free For All is so busy it's hard to get in and get a word in edgewise. But on the C3 Nation Spaces, we're there for you each and every week, and we welcome everyone to come in and say what they want to say about the Panthers. And kind of Twan's point of having this show was the fact that it's different strokes for different folks. Me and Pickle are a little bit older. You may want to follow a podcaster that's a little younger than me and Pickle. We have different opinions than maybe some younger podcaster would have, or maybe you like someone with a different vernacular than what I use, and that's okay. You should choose the Panthers fandom that makes you the happiest. And we encourage you to delve into multiple podcasts, which I know a lot of people out there do. And I want to thank all the Panthers fans for joining us tonight and being a part of this. It's been a lovely opportunity for all of us to get together and share the different opinions, but all in the same fandom. And with that said, Twan, that fandom is the one that we're going to exercise this season for our 2-15 Carolina Panthers as we try to fight out of the basement of the NFC South, the worst division of football. We're going to strive to become a better team and strive to make other teams fear the logo for the Carolina Panthers. And we're going to strive to have this team come together in unity and not the division that we saw left in this team in the front office of last year. Dan Morgan, one of our own. It'll be our proudest moment to say our all-pro linebacker that holds the record with 25 tackles in the Super Bowl has led us to the promised land is the word I'm looking for, Twan. And we're going to be there one day, and hopefully we'll all be there together. Keep pounding, Panthers fans.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, my man.
Skills of these panel members, bro.
Hey, you available for voiceover?
Bro, if you ain't excited to be a Panther after that, bro, I don't know what the fuck he does. Like, bro, I just don't know, man. Hey, look, man. Thank each and every one of you guys taking your time out, man. I speak on behalf of the 704 Charlotte Bound Show. Ray Pabon, my man Edge, my brother Ray Pabon, man, and my man Nick. You know what I'm saying? We all appreciate y'all, man, for shining the show and just bringing that heat, man. You know what I'm saying? This is 704 Charlotte Bound Show, man. That's 2 growls, 1 roar, 2 fans in the stand, man. We got the Spaces with Pickle and Diesel. Squills, my man. The Panther Experience with my man, Uncle Quan, man. Two Fans in the Stand with my brother CJ and Tony. We're just the messengers with my man, old Mike Lowry. And my brother that had to leave early, man, C. Dougie, man. You know what I'm saying? Over there, shout out to C. Dougie with everything he do. I'm Twan Don, man. We did it again, man. I look forward to doing this again next year. You know what I'm saying? But look, man, these guys right here, if you don't go sign up for these guys and listen to these dudes, if you like what you heard today, man, you're doing yourself an injustice, man. Twan Don, I said what I said, man. We out, bro.